What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 599, baby. That's right, episode number 599 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And that means this Baller Friday, if I'm not mistaken, means that it's going to be the 600th episode of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. So be on the lookout for that. But it is episode number 599. It is the 1st of August, 2018, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And I love being independent now. You can't ban me, Twitter. You can't ban me, Facebook. All right, I'm independent, bitch. Type it in your browser, add it to your favorites, add it to your bookmarks. Ghost.report. All right, that's all you have to do. That's all you got to type in. Ghost.report. And by the way, if you are not a part of Gab, and I'm talking about the last bastion of freedom of speech in social media on the internet today, then I don't know what the hell you're doing. I strongly advise everybody to please go to Gab right now, get yourself a free account, all right, because we all know how these Silicon Valley oligarchs think that they're the moral police of speech all of a sudden. But come on down to Gab, and that, folks, Gab is my only social media representation on the internet. Anywhere else that is claiming to be me, bullshit, crap, lies. So follow me on Gab, folks, all right? Politics Ghost, all right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab, folks. All right, it's that damn simple. And, by the way, I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby. That's right, folks. If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, the official one, and I'm talking about, look, we talk about a lot of stuff. We have serious conversations, obviously, about cryptocurrency, political things, international relations, but we also like to do the proverbial internet tomfoolery. And we're going to talk about this here in a minute, but if you are a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then you are a part of actually, or at least you had access to, if whether you were there listening to it or not, you had access to listening to us as the capitalist army docks QAnon. That's right, QAnon has gone mainstream, folks, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast chat room, all you got to do is go to my Gab right now. Go to my Gab, check out my Gab, and click the subscribe button for premium content. All right, it's as simple as that. Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab, and I will give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now, we got a lot of things to talk about here. First and foremost, I don't want to go right into the QAnon thing. I just want to give a little bit of a preamble. Now, as you all may have heard at this point in time, especially you folks that were with us when we doxed this faggot, QAnon, my particular grievance towards QAnon was, first of all, that the whole premise of this bastard, it just degrades the president. I mean, the whole idea of this whole QAnon bullshit, the story is that QAnon is a military intelligence officer who, quote, tapped Donald Trump to be president to avoid a, quote, coup d'etat. And now that Donald Trump is president, apparently QAnon is right up the fucking president's ass with his hand shoved up there, puppeteering the president on what to do, what to say, how to say it, etc. I mean, just the premise of that alone completely degrades the integrity of the president himself, negating the fact that President Trump had to sacrifice a lot to be the president of the United States. He has to sacrifice not just his own life, but his family, his wealth, everything, his future, his lineage, his posterity. And the reason he did it, folks, and look, actions speak louder than words. Just take a look at what's going on in America today. And this proves to each and every one of you that this man, Donald Trump, is pro-American. 100%. He's anti-globalist, pro-American. He said what he was going to do in the 2016 elections. He's doing it now. And what really upsets me about this QAnon crap, and look, we're going to talk about it extensively later on in the broadcast, is that now the right wing of the political spectrum, the side that's supposed to be about facts, supposed to be about actual information, is now falling into the liberal lunacy realm when it comes to this QAnon nonsense. And I am completely sick and tired of having to sit here and put up with this. And the reason I'm saying that I have to put up with it is because the capitalist army and myself doxed this fucking faggot. We know who he is, all right? We called him. His grandmother picked up the phone, and we had to convince her to give him the damn phone, for Christ's sake. Because the one that, was obviously circulated by somebody had already been taken offline. So, the capitalist army, we know how to do these types of things. We found a number where we can get to his grandma, which he was living with at the time, and had his grandma put him on the horn, and we didn't even fucking wait. We asked him right instantaneously, hey, are you QAnon? And I quote, this is what he said. It's QAnon. I'm calling the cops. And then he hangs up the phone and changes his goddamn number. I mean, I'm not even kidding around. Now, look, I don't want to say who this person is. If you want to know who the hell QAnon is, well, then go to the Ghost.report right now. The latest blog right there gives you links within that blog on finding out who the hell this character is, okay? Now, the reason that I'm pissed off about it is because we have found that we are no different than the leftists at this point in time. We are no different than the goddamn leftists. I mean, the leftists are into this lunacy at this point. And let me explain. Have you ever come across these goddamn QAnon followers? When you tell them that, look, first of all, just the premise of it should tell you that it undermines the president himself. It undermines Trump. It makes Trump fall under the narrative that the leftists have been purporting for all these goddamn 2 years that this man has been a president or been running for president, that he doesn't know what he's doing, and that somebody else is telling him what to do. And I don't believe that one bit. This is a businessman. This is a man who is very competent, who understands numbers, who understands business. That's why he was able to flip this goddamn economy so simply. And as a matter of fact, folks, the majority of the things that I advocated for the past 10 years on this broadcast, the majority of it has come to pass by this president right here. He has literally done almost 98% of the things that I've said for the past 10 years. He has done it and passed it into law. And what I don't understand is why and how we on the right have such a group of useful idiots, for a lack of a better term, for the left. Because, folks, that was my criticism when it came to this QAnon crap. I was criticized by many people on the right because the capitalist army found out who this person was, and the argument was, well, Ghost, I mean, what if, QAnon is bringing more people to the Trump movement? I mean, isn't that a good thing that he's bringing, more people to the Trump movement? No, it's not. Because if we're going to believe lies, if we're going to go into this political romanticist idea that a military intelligence officer has got his fucking hand up Trump's ass and telling him what to say, I mean, we're no different than the left. We're no different than the left, for Christ's sake. I mean, haven't you ever tried to talk to a leftist? I mean, every single fucking time you talk to these people, even if you put documentation, facts in their faces, even if you're in a casual conversation and you pull out the phone and you're like, look, I've got 2 sources, 3 sources right here disproving whatever in the fuck you think, leftist. And you know what they do? They look at you with that four-eyed stare in their eyes, and they just start looking away and start literally ignoring you while pretending to listen to you by giving you these wide-eyed nods like, yeah. I mean, just literally tune you out. Because, folks, what we are having here in the Western civilization, and I'm talking the West, I'm not just talking about America, I'm talking about general Western civilization. We have this idea, and I don't know where we got this. I don't know where we got this, but we as people do not want to be disrupted from our perceptions. No matter how fantasy, no matter how unrealistic, no matter how pathetic, no matter how bizarre, no matter how psychotic, nothing. I mean, people's perceptions of what the world is or how the world is, they don't want to be taken away from it once they're set in it. And even if you throw facts at them, even if you try to say, hey, look, here it is, look, here's facts. Here's facts, asshole. No, you're lying. No. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get, and that's leftism right now, folks. You have to believe me. If you don't, then debate with the leftist. And all you've got to do is come out with facts, with actual information, documentation, proving them wrong. And instead of saying, you know what, I'm wrong, Jesus Christ, I never knew that. If I wish I would have known. They don't do that. They don't admit they're wrong. They're just like, okay, yeah, whatever, and with a four-eyed stare, and then just pretend to listen to you for the rest of the conversation by this stupid, ridiculous nod, and they're going to still continue to believe whatever the hell they want to believe, even though it does not suit with reality. Even though it does not encompass reality, it encompasses their perception of reality. And folks, that's very dangerous, man. I mean, we've witnessed it already on the left. I mean, look at these fanatical morons. I mean, you have to understand, folks, that you've got groups of people on the left that are fanatical, that are going out here in mass, protesting, occupying, areas in front of ICE headquarters, in front of immigration centers, turning it into biohazard areas because they're camping out, shitting and pissing and puking all over the place and leaving garbage. I mean, folks, what these people don't understand, nor do they want to understand, is that they are the victims of their own doing. They don't want to take responsibility for anything. Nor do they want to eliminate or change their perspective that they're living by. It's kind of like, folks, and I hate to make this comparison, it's kind of like Santa Claus. You know, and in my opinion, folks, I think that Santa Claus is used to this capacity to brainwash the average human being, at least in Western civilization, to accept lies that we know are lies, but we're going to continue to pretend that they're truths. And Santa Claus is a perfect example of how they brainwash us into believing that some fat, weird-looking, long-bearded, ZZ Top-having, red-suited, with a weird pajama hat man is going to somehow, kind of squeeze and lubricate himself through your chimney, and he's going to, leave you presents if you've been a good little boy and girl? I mean, you have to understand, folks, this is what's happening to the left, and it's already happened to the left. It's infected the left. The Santa Claus syndrome. They know it's a lie. They know socialism never will work. It's never worked, never will. They know that they'll never be able to get free this, free that. It's never happened in the history of humanity. They know that all this bullshit that they're purporting, that they believe in, is not only never going to come to pass, but if it does, It's never going to come to pass by the way they're describing it. But you see, much like the Santa Claus syndrome, let's just go ahead and just pretend that the lie is real. Just like the Easter Bunny. Let's just pretend there's a fucking rabbit, which I don't even understand what the hell that has to do with Easter, because there's a rabbit going on, there's eggs. I mean, what the fuck? But I don't want to get esoteric on you, because let's just be honest, it's the celebration of the Easter, the Eastern Star, and, you know, many of those symbols of the rabbit and the egg is nothing more than a pagan, what do you call it? A pagan, to get bitches pregnant. Like, what do you call it? A fucking, where things get pregnant, to encourage things to get pregnant. You know what I mean? A futility, right? That's what you call it? Futility fucking pagan ritual, or whatever the fuck it's called. Look, the point is, folks, all right, regardless of the origins, the point is that we have come to accept lies. And whether we get called out on them, we don't want to admit that they're lies. And this QAnon comes into that category. I mean, aside from the left being a bunch of fanatical nimrods when it comes to their perspective, you also have people on this QAnon, fertility. Thank you, fucking people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. A fertility spell. If you really look into the whole pagan, you know, symbolism of rabbit and egg, it's pagan. Same thing with the Christmas tree, but look, I'm digressing. That's esoteric crap. You go read that for yourself. Anyway, the point is that just as on the left, how they're blindly fanatical, how they know they're never going to get free child care, free education, free health care, free food cards again. They know that they're not going to do that, but they're still going to do it because it's easier to bitch and moan than to take the human resource and the ambition and the initiative necessary to go out and stake your own claim and to earn your living. I mean, that's what these idiots nowadays don't understand. You have to earn a living. You're not given a living. And I want to be honest with you, I'm going to talk about this QAnon stuff in a minute. But folks, I mean, this literally is the equivalent of leftists. Like people that are trying to justify this QAnon crap, all of you assholes, all of you idiots that are trying to justify QAnon, you are no better than these leftists that are trying to justify the sexualization of children. And people are going to say, oh, Ghost, how can you say that? How can you say that? Well, let's just take a step back for a minute. Where the hell does QAnon like to post most often? He likes to post on 8chan. 8chan is a forum post that is notorious for child exploitation and pedophilia. That's why the people who own the damn thing aren't even in this country. I'm just saying. And yet, Mr. QAnon, who is anti-Pizzagate, who is about exposing the child trafficking from the deep state, all this garbage, this guy sitting here going on 8chan, using that as a forum so that he can get his message across. I mean, there's so much hypocrisy related with QAnon, it makes me sick. And look, we've already doxed this guy. The capitalist army already doxed this faggot, man. This guy is a late 20s homosexual, and I'm not saying that to degrade the man. That's what he is. He's a homosexual, furry, and if you don't know what a furry is, then lucky you. Furry leftist poet. And where did QAnon get the whole term, or where did he get the name QAnon from? Where did it concoct from the bowels of his brain? It was concocted by and inspired by a goddamn character on Star Trek that called himself Q. And by the way, in that character, Star Trek, Q, that character in Star Trek, he is a deceiver of information. A deceiver of information. So whoever's doing this is playing you and having duping delight, and you morons are going out there with QAnon shirts and we are Q and we stand with Q, making those of us that are rational and reasonable people, making us look like crazies, baby. You're making us look like we're nuts. And you see, this is what you QAnon people have done to us on the right. Just listen for a second. This is what you all have done. You have flipped the tables, because remember, before you QAnon idiots got the spotlight from the mainstream media, the leftists were the crazies. The leftists were the lunatics. The leftists were the ones that were irrational and all this nonsense. I mean, that's what was the general perception, right? Now, because of you assholes that are out here wearing QAnon shirts like a bunch of idiots, you have now flipped the narrative and now made us on the right look like a bunch of fucking idiots and a bunch of crazies. So, with that being said, you know, whether you QAnon faggots, whether you QAnon followers want to believe it or not, you are actually aiding the left. You are aiding the goddamn left. And you should be ashamed of yourselves, but of course you're not. Of course you're going to proudly wear those We Are Q shirts, because now all of a sudden it's starting to be a social thing now, right? It's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm wearing a Q shirt. You're wearing a Q shirt. Hey, we are Q. I mean, fucking people are such hive-minded fucking assholes. It's so pathetic. I'm not even joking. It's so fucking pathetic. What a bunch of conformist dicks. Don't you understand that the basis of our country in America is individualism? I mean, we used to champion individualism. Now it seems like everybody in America wants to bow down to conformity. They want to bow down to conformity, for Christ's sake. Anyway, look, I got to get on with other... As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk more about this. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this when it comes time to it, but I got to get to some of the crypto news. I know a lot of people out there looking for it and wanting to know what's happening out here in the crypto and in the stock markets. Well, folks, today, out of nowhere, the Federal Reserve decides not to raise interest rates. I mean, can you believe that? Federal Reserve does not raise interest rates. And if you want my opinion, I think it shocked the markets. I don't think the markets know what the hell to do, because when they announced the interest rates, I think there may have been, an hour and a half left of trading, and I think it shocked everybody. I think everybody already clocked out. I thought that they already anticipated an increase in the interest rates of 0.25%. Nope. The interest rates stayed the same. Thank God. But you couldn't tell in the markets, folks, all right? I mean, right now, the dollar index, the U.S. dollar index is up 0.11% in the positive. It's up 0.11% in the positive. So, I mean, it's definitely not reacting the way it should have, considering that you have the Federal Reserve coming out saying that they're going to keep the interest rates as they are. So, that's very interesting. Now, I know people are saying, but Ghost, we were waiting for this, and the interest rates didn't change, so doesn't that mean cryptocurrencies should be going up in price? What the hell's going on, Ghost? Well, let me explain something to you. It should be going up. As a matter of fact, I mean, even though we're going through a current contraction right now, it is all single-digit percentage contractions, first off, and you're seeing some sparsely sprinkled green within the sea of red, which means one thing, that it was bad news. Bad news that is really bringing the contraction in this particular market here, all right? Now, let's go ahead and talk about what I'm saying. Now, I don't know if you folks are aware, but one of the absolute biggest exchanges in the world in crypto, BitHum, that's B-I-T-H-U-M-B, BitHum, it is a exchange out of South Korea. It is an exchange out of South Korea. And what's happening here is that BitHum has unfortunately had a bank freeze on some of its assets in Korea. And the reason that we've had this is because, well, who knows? I have no idea. I'm going to give you a little bit of the read down of the news that has come out. Now, this is really why we're seeing red in the markets today, because this BitHum is like at least 1 or 2 in market volume worldwide in cryptocurrency. So let me go ahead and read this. It says, bank freeze forces Korean crypto exchange enable new accounts. Man, let's take a look. Let's read into this. This is out of the CNN. What is that? CNN.com. Or it's not CNN. CCN. Excuse me. CNN. CCN.com. Who is this written by so I can give them the props? It doesn't even say. It doesn't even have a goddamn... Doesn't even have an author. Doesn't even have an author. Anyway, this is right off their hotline, right off their hot wire here. Bank freeze forces Korean crypto exchange BitHum to disable new accounts. South Korean crypto exchange giant BitHum has suspended the issuance of new KYC bank-linked virtual accounts. And as a result, what do we have here? We have... Oh, hold on just a second. I got this fucking ads on this goddamn ridiculous... this ridiculous page coming in my ear. Anyway, starting August 1st, BitHum, one of Korea's big 4 exchanges, is no longer issuing new virtual accounts to customers due to the lack of banking partnerships. According to a report out of Business Korea, the freeze will not impact customers who are already having virtual accounts at the exchange used for deposits and withdrawals through linked bank accounts. Now, this right here is definitely causing havoc on the market. I mean, BitHum is literally, take a look at whatever cryptocurrency you're looking at, and take a look at what is causing the most volume, where it's being traded at the most. It's BitHum more than likely. BitHum or Binance. And this is really what's really screwing the market. And one more thing, folks, that is kind of making the market kind of scary here. Off of the underground, there's been some bigwigs that are out here putting on Bitcoin in certain exchanges. There's an exchange out here called OKEX. All right, there was a $415 million OKEX futures contract that was put out, and it was a long position. And now, this OKEX exchange, that's OKEX, now that this OKEX exchange has to pretty much come out and pay whoever the hell put this long, they don't have the money to pay, nor do they have the money to sustain themselves after such a thing, all right? So I want to be completely honest with you. This is also another thing that is weighing down the market, because what could happen is that anybody who had a account at OKEX, or OKX, I guess is what you call it. If anybody who had an account there, you're probably going to be I question whether or not your funds are safe. Let's put it that way, all right? I'm just saying, I question whether your funds are safe. All right, and wait a minute. It looks as if don't tell me I'm freezing up here. Look, unfortunately, I clicked a goddamn. Okay, I'm good. Okay, never mind. I clicked a goddamn article that has like 8, 9, 10 gigabytes of advertising, and it pisses me off every time, man. Telling you, man, but funds are safe according to everything else, all right? Anyway, folks, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because we should be seeing increases in the cryptocurrency markets. And the reason we're not is because of news like this. It's because of news like this. And unfortunately, news like this is going to put a damper in the crypto markets, and we're seeing it at this current time. Because lest we forget, no interest rate hikes should have made crypto and the stock market go up. And if you take a look at both of them, they stayed flat today, if not in the minus. So, like I said, bad news is what's going on here. It's bad news, baby. Bad news bears. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the cryptocurrency market since we're here, all right? Market capitalization of the entire cryptocurrency market is $273 billion market capitalization, all right? And people are saying, why not ad block, Ghost? Because, man, then that eliminates the revenue-generating opportunities for free shit to be free. I'm just saying. I believe in independent content. I believe in independent media, and the only way that they're going to be able to support themselves is that they have advertising, and, you're exposed to advertising and etc. That's why I don't have an ad block, man, because you're just screwing people out of potential income that are creating content that you enjoy that are not going to be able to create that content anymore because you got ad block on. I'm just saying. Anyway, current market capitalization from the entire cryptocurrency market, $273 billion market cap. Now, let's go ahead and get to Bitcoin. We saw a contraction in Bitcoin because of a lot of factors. Earlier in the week, we were anticipating an increase in the Federal Reserve interest rates. News in the goddamn crypto markets. A lot of things. But right now, in my personal opinion, I still think that this is just a blip on the radar for a potential, once again, incremental increase in Bitcoin. And the reason I'm basing this is because of all the damn business media hype, baby. All the business media hype that is around Bitcoin. You have people predicting that at the end of the year it's going to be 80,000, 60,000, all these outrageous prices. So that means that they're trying to cause some kind of a run in here by the end of the year. And I think that is highly probable for Bitcoin, and it's based on nothing more than speculation. So that's why I am very short term on Bitcoin at this point in time. Whenever we hit that $15,000 mark, because I think we will hit $15,000 Bitcoin again. I think that's it. I think that's the price. I think that's when you sell off and try to take whatever you can and run, baby. Take the money and run. But let's go ahead and get to Bitcoin, folks. BTC is the symbol. Current market capitalization is $131 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 17.1 million Bitcoin in circulation. In the past 24 hours, it has gone down 1.26%. The current price for Bitcoin, a symbol BTC, current price $7,635.55 per Bitcoin. Let's get to Ethereum, folks. ETH is in the house. Current market capitalization for Ethereum is $42 billion market cap. The circulating supply, folks, it just went over 101 million. 101 million in circulation for Ethereum. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has gone down 2.82%. Current price for Ethereum, folks, $420.91. And I'm short on this one as well. We all know that this one's going to run up sometime here in the near future because of all the hype. This is literally the second cryptocurrency on the top of mind of those that understand or even have a half-assed grasp of cryptocurrency. But I'm going to cover one coin, folks, and this is not because I am a buyer on this one. I'm only covering this one because we have integrated or have crossed paths with cryptocurrency and politics, folks, and I'm talking about Ripple. That's right, I'm talking about Ripple or XRP. XRP is the symbol, folks, and the reason I'm bringing up Ripple is because, believe it or not, Ripple is having a convention in San Francisco. It's called the Swell Conference, and guess who they invited as a keynote speaker at the Swell Conference? And mind you, this is a Ripple-based conference. Guess who they invited? None other than Slick Willie himself, Bill Clinton. I mean, come on, man. They invited Bill Clinton. So what does that tell you? That tells you either Bill Clinton, has some of this in his pocket and is trying to pump up the price, first and foremost. And secondly, Does that mean that these globalists are eyeballing XRP as a potential virtual global currency? I mean, because why else would old Slick Willie, Mr. Clinton Global Initiative, Mr. Bill Clinton, hey, how you doing? I'm Bill Clinton, and I want to tell you all that I want you to buy Ripple. And the reason I want you to buy Ripple, because it reminds me of a nipple. Have you ever had a buttery nipple? That's a very good drink. Very good shot. It's old Bill Clinton here, and I'm telling all of you to buy Ripple so I can make money. I mean, I still owe lawyers. It takes a lot of money to pay lawyers when you're raping and sexually abusing women, you know. I mean, can you believe this? Can you believe it? Old Slick Willie, old Bill Clinton, is going to be at the Swell Convention, which is a convention, cryptocurrency convention put on by Ripple. They're actually going to have Bill Clinton. That's right, baby. Buy the Ripple, because I need more nipple and I need to pay my lawyers. And, raping women, it costs a lot of money. Sexually abusing women, it costs a lot of money, baby. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up, whether or not you want to buy in this or not, it's obviously in the positive because of this. I'm not even kidding. It's one of the goddamn cryptocurrencies right now in this contraction in the positive. Let's take a look at it. XRP, okay? Ripple. $17 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply, and this is why I'm saying Ripple is out of its mind, the circulating supply for Ripple is 39 billion in circulation. That's right, 39 billion with a B. 39 billion in circulation. Now, in the past 24 hours, XRP has gone up 2.98%. The current price for XRP, Ripple, or I should say Bill Clinton's cryptocurrency, and you can come over here and follow me into the bathroom and feel down my pants, and I'll show you a big cryptocurrency, baby. Anyway, XRP, current price, 44 cents, baby. 44 cents current price for XRP. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin Cash. Folks, today is Bitcoin Cash's 1-year birthday. All right, 1-year birthday. And let me explain this to you, all right? It's the 1 year it was out and hard forked. It's been 1 year since it's hard forked from BTC. And it's had a hell of a ride if you take a look at the charts on that son of a bitch. So let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin Cash, because I'm bullish on Bitcoin Cash for 6 to 9 months. It's a 6 to 9 month hold, and it's up to you whether you want to sell or not sell in between that time, because it is going to be volatile. It is going to be volatile, and it is going to be an alternative to fiat, in my opinion. I personally believe it's way better than Bitcoin. I mean, the block size is 32 megabytes as opposed to 1 megabyte of a blockchain of original Bitcoin. And they're going to be able to process more transactions, faster transaction speeds, lower transaction fees, etc. Anyway, I'm just saying Bitcoin Cash is something to look after. BCH, 1 year since it's been hard forked. Current market cap for Bitcoin Cash is $13.2 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone down slightly, 0.38%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash is $769.05 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's continue going. Let me get to Litecoin, folks. Now, I want to be honest with you. I hate to say this, even though I hate Charlie Lee. He's a fucking spastic fucking Chinese tard that I wish I could blindfold with dental floss. But I have to think, and I'm going to tell you that Litecoin is a buy right now. Litecoin's a buy right now. We're back down to the $77 range on Litecoin. I think it's way undervalued. Consider it. You look at the coins that do the same thing, and if not in maybe a lesser capacity, they're at a lot higher of a price, and you compare that to the circulating supply. So I think that we're undervalued. Lest we forget, folks, we got people holding the bag on Litecoin up to about, $300? So way undervalued in my opinion. I like Litecoin here in the next 3 to 6 months. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Even though I hate Charlie Lee, and, hopefully he takes a bad egg roll in his ass. LTC is the symbol. Litecoin, current market capitalization is $4.4 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 57 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone down 2.42%. Current price for Litecoin is $77.65 per Litecoin. Now let's get to Monero. What did I tell you about Monero, folks? It likes to run, and it's definitely a pattern or short-term trading play. Let's take a look at it. It's in the green today. Monero, current market capitalization is $2 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 16.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone up. It's, like I said, it's one of the few that is in the positive. Monero has gone up 5.25%. Current price for Monero, symbol XMR, $128.18 per Monero. Let's continue it going with Dash, folks. DASH is the symbol. Dash. Current market capitalization for Dash is $1.8 billion market cap. The circulating supply is a low 8.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone up. That's right, it's gone up 1.02% increase. Current price for Dash, $219.04. And I think I'm a buy on Dash as well, folks. As well, I'm a buy on Zcash, baby. Zcash, I am definitely a buy on. They just had a hard fork. New technology, emphasis on privacy. You got JP Morgan investing in it. I mean, it's got low circulation. I'm mining it. I'm hoarding it myself. Let's take a look at Zcash. ZEC, current market capitalization is 887 million in market capitalization, not circulation, in market cap. $887 million market cap. The circulating supply for Zcash is 4.4 million. That's it. 4.4 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has taken a little bit of a step back. It is down 3.28%. Current price for Zcash, $198.05 per Zcash. All right. Anyway, folks, I want to get to one more here, and it's in the green, and we've covered this in the past, and I'm talking about Icon, folks. ICX, Icon, right now, current market capitalization is $467 million market cap. The current circulating supply for ICX is 387 million in circulation. Icon has gone up, folks, 9.32%. Good God! Good God for Icon. Current price for ICX, Icon, $1.21. $1.21 for Icon. Now, since I can see I'm running a little out of time, let's go ahead and get right to the stock market, all right, folks? Because I got all these production notes, all this crap I got to talk about here, so I don't want to pussyfoot around with stuff, man. Let's just get right to it. Let's go to the stock market. Now, once again, even though we saw Federal Reserve hold interest rates as is, we certainly didn't see it reflected in the market. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. It is down today, folks, 81.37 points, a percentage decrease of 0.32%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 25,333.82 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We've got the S&P 500 also down today, not really reflecting what the Federal Reserve did today, but hey, who's looking? S&P 500 is down 2.93 points, a percentage decrease of 0.10%, closing out the S&P at 2,813.36 points for the S&P 500. And the NASDAQ, it was the only goddamn indice with any kind of positivity. It was up 35.50 points. a percentage increase of 0.46%, closing out the NASDAQ at 7,707.29 points for the NASDAQ composite. Let's go ahead and get to some commodities here. Now, energy, it's been all over the place, hasn't it? It's at 71 1 minute. It's in the 60s the next minute. I mean, you're talking about some major volatility happening in the energy sector, man. Good God. Let me go ahead and take a sip of this water. And, oh, yeah, by the way, a month, no alcohol. I can't believe it. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't believe it. But it's good to have some high-quality H2O, though. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. I don't want a fucking coin or anything, a metal. Stop it, the people in the fucking chat room. We got energy. WTI, it is up 14 cents, a percentage increase of 0.21%. Current price for WTI sweet crude is $67.80 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude also up 13 cents, a percentage increase of 0.18%. Current price for Brent crude is $72.52 per barrel of Brent crude oil. We've got gasoline also, well, no, it's down today. You would think it'd be up, but nope, it's down. 0.04% decrease for gasoline. Natural gas is down, 0.47% decrease. We got heating oil down 0.09% decrease. Let's go ahead and get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals. Let's get to gold, baby. Gold is down $1.80, a percentage decrease of 0.15% decrease. Gold's current price is $1,225.80 per troy ounce of gold. Hey, man, let's bring that gold price lower, man. Let's bring that gold price lower, because you want to know why? Because I want to see more people wearing gold out here, baby. You know what I'm saying? I want to see people flossing again. You know, I want to see a visual representation of the Trump economy. All right, so let's get gold going on again. Let's get gold down, so make it cheap so everybody can go flouse, baby. Get the gold grills going on again, man. Having people have 2 rollies on, you know what I mean? Getting their pinky rings on, man. Anyway, let's get to the silver. Silver is down a nickel, a percentage decrease of 0.34%. Current price for silver is $15.40 per troy ounce of silver. Copper. Copper is down 0.22%, and platinum is up 0.26%. Let's go ahead and get to the agriculture. Grains, corn is up 0.46%. Wheat is up 0.54%. Oats is up 1.02% increase. Rough rice is down 0.34%. Soybean is down 0.44%. Soybean oil is up 0.24%. And canola is up 0.08%. Let's go ahead and get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa, the base for chocolate, it is down today 4.10%. But I want to remind everybody, okay? There's been another case. I mean, look, I don't mean to be laughing at this, but, you know, they say they have it contained. They don't have it contained. They do have it contained. They don't have it contained. And what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I mean, I think you all know what I'm talking about, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm talking about Ebola. Another couple cases of Ebola in Africa. Get it away. Ebola. Sing it with me. Ebola. Uh-oh. It's back. That's right, it's back. It's back in Africa. Ebola. Don't touch me. No eating nothing. Ebola. Ebola. Don't touch me. No eating nothing. Ebola. All right, that's enough. I don't know. Some people think this is actually the jam, though, right? Could you shake your ass to this? Can you see some broad dropping it to this? I don't know. Anyway, turn it off. Turn it off, engineer. Turn that shit off. All right. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is because that could be affecting the prices here soon enough when it comes to cocoa, all right? So I'm just trying to give everybody a heads up. Cocoa right now is down 4.10%, but I think with Ebola coming back, I think we may see something going on in the plus side in cocoa very soon. Coffee.
Hey, dude, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me unless I've had my coffee, okay, dude? I'm a hipster fruit bowl, and I need my nice roast of coffee.
Shut up, you hipster faggot. Anyway, we've got coffee down 1.68%. We've got sugar. It is down 0.66%. Orange juice is up 1.05%. We've been seeing increases in orange juice for the past several times we've covered it, folks. So I hope that you folks, I like orange juice. I'll still pay for it. I mean, it's a good source of vitamin C, and I like it. I like it. Anyway, let's get to cotton. It is down 1.40% decrease, and lumber continues to go down. And the reason that we're seeing it to go down is because we're starting to see a leveling out in home purchases in America today. So that is being reflected here in the lumber market. It is down 3.29% decrease. We got rubber down 1%. Ethanol is down 1.50%. Let's get to live cattle, folks. Live cattle, it is up 0.89%. Cattle feeder is up 1.59%, and lean hog, it is up 0.10%. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? Now, the reason that we're trying to rush with the whole program here, because I got a lot of production notes, got a lot of shit to talk about out here. Remember, that's why everybody listens to the True Capitalist radio broadcast, aside from, being the badass of business. I mean, this is where you get the straight fucking political dope, man, and everybody knows it, and that's why everybody here, that's why if you're listening to this broadcast, you're listening to the goddamn underground. I guarantee it, you're listening to the underground. Now, since we're done with the market aspect of the broadcast, let's go ahead and transition right into some president news. And I'm talking about the greatest president in American history. I'm talking about the modern day George Washington. Jesus Christ, my thoughts are getting ahead of themselves, for Christ's sake. That could be because, I stopped drinking here recently. I want to be honest with you. I didn't realize how stopping drinking could potentially bring out the mental damage that drinking and consuming copious amounts of alcohol could have done to your brain. So, it's sad. It's sad. But you know what? I'll be back. Don't worry. I'm going to keep drinking. I need to take about 3 months off. All right, let the insides heal itself, and then I'll be back. But anyway, let's get to the president's news here. Now, folks, did you all see the tweets this morning of the president? No, the president calling on Jeff Sessions to end the Robert Mueller special counsel. And listen, obviously, this is really out of I would just say agitation of the president, because let's be honest, it's almost 2 years since this Robert Mueller investigation, and they haven't produced one shred of evidence as it pertains to Russia-Trump collusion. Not one shred of evidence. I mean, and this is a wild goose chase. It's a witch hunt, and I sympathize with the president in that regard. I mean, why should a sitting American president have to deal with this kind of crap at this point? After all the exposures of conflicts of interest with Robert Mueller, after all the exposed, just swamp-like, corrupted, criminalistic activity of the special counsel, shouldn't we just end this Robert Mueller investigation already? I mean, what are we doing? I mean, this special counsel has cost over $20 trillion of taxpayer money. And what has it produced? It's produced an absolute nothing burger. So I completely agree with the president. I sympathize with him being so angry about this situation, because I'd be pissed off. I'm the president of the United States. I'm making America great again. I'm trying to assert policies. I'm trying to establish diplomatic relations. And he's establishing dick, too, but he's establishing diplomatic relations. He's out here creating world peace. He's doing all kinds of crap. And he's got this fucking legal witch hunt back in, just like a fucking albatross around his neck. Can we end the Robert Mueller investigation, please? Can we just end it? Can we just end it and end it now? Jesus Christ. Now, why do I say end it? Because who is Robert Mueller prosecuting here today, here recently? Paul Manafort. And you know what? I feel bad for Paul Manafort, man. First of all, that boy didn't do nothing. He was a good boy. He didn't do nothing. All right? All Paul Manafort is a political consultant, a political operative. I mean, that's what his job was. He worked for Reagan. He worked for Bob Dole. I mean, this guy is a legitimate political operative. The only reason that Robert Mueller is going after Paul Manafort is to squeeze Paul Manafort into saying something that Paul Manafort is not going to say. Because at this point, now that Paul Manafort, I mean, they have just literally screwed Mr. Manafort. They raided his house at 4 in the morning when he's in bed with his wife. You know, they tried to put him in all kinds of compromising situations. They've thrown him in jail. He's in solitary confinement. He's potentially, could go to jail if convicted of these stupid, bogus charges, like over 100 years in jail. He could spend the rest of his goddamn life in jail. And why is Robert Mueller trying to prosecute Paul Manafort in this capacity? Because he wants Paul Manafort to say something that Paul Manafort can't say. I mean, remember, Paul Manafort only worked for the campaign for a very short amount of time. And we've talked about this many times. The only reason that Paul Manafort was brought in is so that he could solidify the nomination in the GOP convention in 2016. And that's exactly what Paul Manafort did. He got the delegates. And I'm sure, and like I've said before, that Paul Manafort used some unscrupulous Roger Stone-like methods to convince the delegates to make sure to vote for Trump as their presidential nominee. So I'm sure this is a lot of payback in that regard. That's why you have a lot of these establishment Republicans even saying that Robert Mueller should continue his investigation. Like that dull hair sporting piece of crap, Trey Gowdy. We need to let Robert Mueller continue his investigation. Shut up, fucking Gowdy, you dumb fucking sellout. Yeah, you know what Trey Gowdy was? That was the consequence of the Tea Party, huh? What did that culminate, huh? That culminated from nothing. The same people that are out here wearing QAnon shirts, the same old fucking boomer farts that are out here wearing fucking QAnon shirts were the same people out here putting tea bags in their goddamn hats 10 years ago. And they elected this piece of crap. And look at him. He's nothing more than an establishment piece of crap. Trey Gowdy. We need to let Robert Mueller continue his investigation. We need to Robert Mueller to shut up. Robert Mueller has been exposed having conflicts of interest, having bias, doing unscrupulous activity for nothing. And folks, aside from the president this morning calling on Jeff Sessions to end this Robert Mueller special counsel, he also called the prosecution of Paul Manafort a, quote, hoax. And it is a hoax. You want to know why Paul Manafort's prosecution is a hoax? Because he was exonerated of these charges 8 years ago. Yeah. He was exonerated. Oh, Paul Manafort. He was exonerated of these charges 8 years ago by a young federal prosecutor by the name of who? Rod Rosenstein. Give me a fucking break. I'm not joking. Paul Manafort was exonerated from the charges that are being brought against him now through Robert Mueller's special counsel. He was exonerated from these charges 8 years ago by a young federal prosecutor by the name of Rod Rosenstein, who happens to be the Deputy Attorney General of the Department of Justice right now today. Give me a fucking break, man. Wake up, people! Wake up! And, you know, you still got people that are falling hook, line, and sinker with this utter lie, with this utter witch hunt. And, you know, it's sad that you even got Republicans, like I just alluded to, Trey Gowdy, Little Marco. Little Marco's out here saying, yes, we need to continue. We need to continue the Robert Mueller investigation. That's what we need to do. Shut up, Little Marco. All right? You're lucky that you didn't get farther than you did in the 2000 elections, or we would have came out with the homosexual dirt that we have on you, you son of a bitch. Yeah, as a matter of fact, for y'all that have a very short memory, the capitalist army was the one that put out publicly that John Kasich, the presidential wannabe in 2016, that is now a fucking Democrat, believe it or not, he turned Democrat, John Kasich had a gay lover back when he was a congressman, and it was his chief of staff. Yeah. And he lived with his chief of staff in a nice little townhome out there in Virginia, and they lived together for 10 years. Yeah. I mean, and you know what? I had everyone who listened to me at that time tweet at his gay lover. And his gay lover, or, you know, the guy who he was, you know, having a gay affair with back in the 90s, didn't want to say a goddamn thing. This son of a bitch put his Twitter on private, and it's still private to this day. So I'm just saying, little Marco wants to come out here, start flapping his yapper. We'll talk about him being arrested when he was a young 18, 19-year-old little pretty boy out there in the park. What were you doing out there in the park at about 2 in the morning there, Marco? Huh? Selling a little ass? I'm just asking. I don't know. Huh? Yeah, you selling a little ass or something? What are you doing? Why were you arrested out there, boy? Yeah, Donald Thibault. Yeah, for the guys that want to know, if y'all want to recollect, the gay lover of John Kasich, his Twitter is at DGTBOW. And let me tell you, every time anyone that tries to ask him, hey, were you and John Kasich gay lovers? Or he'll just block you. He doesn't even want to hear about it. He doesn't even want to say, are you kidding me? Give me, he doesn't, nothing. No. I mean, we came out with so much. Anyway, look, I don't want to brag. All I'm simply stating is, these are the people, Little Marco, you got Trey Gowdy, these people are wanting the Robert Mueller investigation to continue. And I'm not going to let them do it. I'm not going to let them do it. That's why Gowdy isn't running for re-election, because I'm sure he's worried about the skeletons in his closet. Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House, why do you think he's not running for re-election? We outed him. I don't even want to tell you what we know about him. But let's just put it this way. Men that, for whatever reason, men that marry his mother just end up dead. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey! That's all I'm saying. These are facts. I mean, every man that ended up with Paul Ryan's mother ended up dead. And Paul Ryan's mother ended up inheriting all the insurance policies and all the property and all the money. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, and by the way, did y'all hear that Paul Ryan, he just found out that he was part Jewish today. Did y'all hear about that? Oy vey, shut it down. Yeah, I mean, this was actually circulated around the news cycle out here that that goddamn Paul Ryan is part Jewish, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on, man. Did y'all see that nose? Come on, the nose knows, man. And look, not that there's anything wrong with being Jewish, okay? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm down. Look, you, my Jewish brethren out there, I know I got a lot of people listening to me in Israel. I really do. I have a lot of Israel listeners. I'm down with you guys. You know, I'm down with you guys when it comes to the Palestinian situation. But, man, y'all got to stop showing. I'm not joking. Y'all got to stop showing the Jew connection, because you're giving credence to these, like, white supremacists and these white nationalists, you know, that are out here claiming that, you know, the Jews control a lot of crap. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, stop with the Jew connection stuff. That's all I'm saying, all right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what is that? Is that a siren out there, for Christ's sake? I look like, Oy vey, they're shutting me down! Oy vey, they're shutting me goddamn down! Oh, God. Are you kidding me? They're shutting me down? What, I can't talk about Jews? Look, I'm down with the Jews, man! Look, hold on. Let me, before I get taken away by the Jew police, hold on just a second. Let me put on something here, alright? Hold on, I'm almost, hold on. Jesus Christ. Here we go, let's put this on. This'll make them go away. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. The Jew police are going away now. Yeah! L'chaim! 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 Oy vey! Oy valt! Oy vey! Alright, that's enough of that. Alright, that's enough. I've had about enough. Alright? But look, I'm just saying, listen, I'm down with the Jewish brethren out here. All I'm stating is, can you please stop with your vulgar Jewish display of power and showing that you're giving people the Jewish connection. That's all I'm saying. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, where the hell was I? Oh, yeah, Rod Rosenstein. That's what I was talking about. Freaking oy vey. Sorry. Anyway, like I said, folks, the president called Paul Manafort's prosecution a hoax because he was exonerated from these charges 8 years ago. The charges that he is being prosecuted for, he was exonerated 8 years ago by a young prosecutor, a young federal prosecutor by the name of Rod Rosenstein. Good God. Gosh, I'm not joking, man. Anyway, look, I'm sorry. We're now well into the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank you for tuning in with me. Before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire, all right? And let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And like I said, I love being independent now. Type in your browser right now and add to your favorites, add to your bookmarks, ghost.report. All right, ghost.report. Add that to your bookmarks, add that to your favorites, baby. It's the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please, if you do not have a goddamn Gab account, then get one. All right, type in your browser right now, gab.ai. And once you get there, get a goddamn free account. It's the last bastion of freedom of speech and social media today. And once you get yourself an account there, follow me on that social media. And that's my only social media, folks. Anybody pretending to be me anywhere else is a fucking goddamn liar. It's a goddamn liar. But follow me on Gab, folks, under the name Politics Ghost. All right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And by the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby, then come on down. All right? Check out my Gab. Look at my Gab. And go and press subscribe to premium content. It's as simple as that. Go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content. And once you do that, you private message me. Right after you do that, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name. And then I'll give you an invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple, baby. Anyway, now that we got that all out of the way, let me go ahead and take another sip of some old high-quality H2O. And let's continue on, shall we? Now, the president, aside from making tweets about Jeff Sessions putting an end to Robert Mueller's special counsel and calling Paul Manafort's prosecution a hoax, the mainstream media is making a big deal about yesterday's Trump rally in Florida. Did y'all see this? Making a big deal about it, that he said all kinds of, quote, outlandish things, according to the mainstream media. One of the things that they keep harping on, and I don't understand, I mean, the MSM, the mainstream media, keeps harping on the comment that the president made, and he said, quote, you need an ID at the grocery store. And, you know, these leftists, they like to nitpick, like,
what? What are you talking about? I never had to use my ID at the grocery store. I don't know what you're talking about.
Idiots. You have to have a picture ID. First of all, you have to get there, right? You have to go from point A to point B. And depending on your state, you have to have ID on you all the time. First of all, unless you're in a fucking sanctuary state. Secondly, let's just say for the sake of argument that you're buying something that, requires identification. And it's not just alcohol. Let's say you want to paint your house, or you want to paint, some object in your home. And you want spray paint. You want to utilize spray paint because it's easier, it's faster. Well, you're going to have ID for that. Let's say you've got a cold and you're going to get some of this Sudafed and shit. You got to have ID for that now, because if you don't, you ain't buying it, because people are abusing this to get high. I mean, this is the point that the president was trying to make. He was trying to make the point that people in average, everyday civil American society need their IDs. They need identification. And the only people that don't want to provide identification are those that are criminals or those that are illegal. I mean, isn't that easy? I mean, that's like a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I mean, those that don't want to carry around an ID, those that don't want to show their ID when they want to vote, are either one of two things. They're either criminals or they're illegal immigrants. I don't understand how or why this is even an issue. I can't believe we actually have American people arguing for this issue. And, of course, the mainstream media harping on the comment that Trump said at yesterday's Florida rally. And the reason he was in Florida, folks, was campaigning for DeSantis. DeSantis is running for governor. And since the endorsement from Donald Trump, DeSantis looks almost a shoe-in to be the governor. But, hey, let's not be preliminary. I mean, anything can happen. This is politics. They could find skeletons. Who knows? Who knows? But this is what the MSM, I should say, my mainstream media, this is what they've been harping on all day.
I never use an ID to go to the grocery store. I don't use an ID.
And not to mention, folks, don't they have your picture on your debit card now? I mean, that's a picture ID. You know, if you're going to swipe your debit card and, they don't believe you, you look like an unscrupulous prick, they're going to want to see your ID. If the purchase is over a certain amount of money, they're going to want to see your ID. And if you don't have your ID, you should at least have a picture on your goddamn debit card. So this is the point the president was trying to make. But, of course, it went over the heads of these stupid mainstream media assholes. And they tried to use it, of course, to try to degrade the man to some extent. But that's all they got. That's all the mainstream media has, folks. This is it. That
I don't need an ID to go to the store.
Shut the fuck up, you stupid broad. And by the way, what else is the mainstream media harping on right now? Or should I say LARPing on? QAnon. QAnon, folks. And look, I hate to fucking talk about it some more. But the mainstream media is now highlighting QAnon. And, now it's gone mainstream. And now that it's in the mainstream, you're going to have these mindless morons who are these Q followers believe that this is somehow some legit ordeal. I don't even understand how anybody could believe this. I mean, folks, you all understand that QAnon was born off of 4chan and 8chan forum post sites, which anyone can post. It's free. It's a free forum. Anyone can post there. And what is QAnon doing? QAnon is like typing really linguistically ambiguous language that could be interpreted a million ways, and has these people going out on literal wild goose chases on trying to find correlations between what QAnon posted and something either Trump said or Trump Jr. said or the song that introduces Trump said, or whatever the case might be. I mean, they try to find like patterns and correlations. I have no idea. But it's pathetic. I mean, and I can't believe that the right wing is victim to this. Because, folks, y'all remember the spirit of 2016, the right. The reason that we were able to win the election, the reason that we got Donald Trump elected, because we based our arguments on the truth, on the facts. Not on ambiguous language, on posts that look like Nostradamus wrote. And that's what I hate about these people that follow Nostradamus, too, you know? Nostradamus, he throws out 4 lines of garbage, you know? And that's supposed to mean, like, fucking Hitler came along and the Third Reich and Napoleon and all this other crap. I'm not even kidding, man. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this crap. Oh my God! I'm just here. Let me. I'm trying to look right now for Nostradamus's texts. All right, because I want you to know how these people are, how they fucking con people. All right. Now this is one of Nostradamus's texts. Okay, sitting alone at night in a secret study. It is placed on the brass tripod. A last flame comes out of emptiness and makes successful that which should not be believed in vain. And that's supposed to mean some... I mean, you understand? It could mean anything. It could mean anything. It could mean fucking anything, man. And that's Nostradamus, okay? Let me try to find some of QAnon's posts here, because it's a joke, all right? I'm not even joking around. It is an utter joke. Let me go ahead and see if I can find it. And look, I can't find anything because now QAnon is all over the mainstream media. QAnon is all over the fucking mainstream media, for Christ's sake. I can't even find QAnon posts, for Christ's sake. Good God. All right, here we go. Okay, right now, it's the... let's go to the... What is this? I'm trying to look for some goddamn QAnon quotes. Can somebody find some QAnon crap? Because I can't find any of these damn QAnon posts anywhere. It's all mainstream media bullshit. And I can't find a QAnon post to save. I don't like QAnon, folks, so I'm not out here like looking at everything that he posts, for heaven's sake. Jesus Christ. All right, here it is. I got it. Never mind. All right. Here's his latest post, okay? Okay, this is for... He posted all this for real? I thought he... Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, I want you all to realize that in the recent posts, he's quoting, which he never does, WikiLeaks, and WikiLeaks has already called out this asshole as a LARPer, first of all. Secondly, here's one of his latest posts, okay? This is his latest one, August 1st, 2018. Q's trip code. Please remove all posts across all boards. Last 2. Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, etc. will ban and remove. Sensitive. Error made. Article influence drop. Improper sequence. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean, man? And people are like, oh, man, you know what he's meaning? He's meaning about the secret drop. And now the fucking mainstream media knows what it is. We doxed this faggot, man. We doxed this faggot already. All right, this guy is a homosexual furry. All right? I mean, that's what he is. I mean, he is coming out now, and his latest posts prove that this is getting bigger than he anticipated. And now they're just trying to, do whatever it takes to maintain the legitimacy of this whole goddamn QAnon bullshit. And like I said in the show when we exposed this bastard, that QAnon, folks, is not just this one guy, Krieger. That's his last name. You can look at the post that I have on my blog, ghost.report. It's the first post here recently that'll have links to whoever the hell QAnon is, because we doxed this faggot already. But it's not just him. This guy who we dox is not the guy completely surrounding this information. He's just the poet that puts it together in this abstract language. And not to mention, he got the Q, the whole Q character from the character from Star Trek. The deceiver of information. That's the fucking character in Star Trek. But either way, folks, okay, this guy has been doxed. Everybody, well, at least those of us in the underground know who he is. It's just that now he's too big to stop. He's too big to fail. And he's rolling with it. Now, many people are going to criticize me and say, Ghost, why is it that you're going after this guy when he's bringing in more people to the Trump train? We don't want these types of people in the Trump train. We want people that are rational, that understand what they're talking about. We want adults. We want people that have an adult relationship with the truth, not living in their own fantasy world. I mean, that's what we want. We don't want mindless liberal lunatics that we see frequently on the other side. And if you take a look at the crowd that wants to call themselves the QAnon followers, they are eerily similar, eerily wide-eyed, and eerily loser-esque as those on the left. And folks, from our investigations, from the capitalist army and my investigations, aside from the QAnon person that we dox that actually composes the actual posts, he works with a team of about 20 people. 20 people in a secret forum post, in a private Discord chat that was infiltrated by someone we knew. He infiltrated this chat room, infiltrated this forum post, and found out that these people that work with the person that posts as QAnon, they all act as like a brainstorming think tank on what could potentially happen tomorrow or next week or next month. They painstakingly brainstorm and talk about what patterns that they can find, what things that they can exploit. This is what these people are doing. And what's motivating these people? Let's be honest. Money. Money is motivating these people. I mean, I saw that there was a QAnon application, a QAnon app. Before Apple Store took it down, I think QAnon's app had over 55,000 downloads, but the application cost $1 to download. So that's $57,000. Who is that money going to? Who's that money going to? And not to mention, the application was nothing more than sending the posts that QAnon posts on these free forum sites, 4chan and 8chan, and delivering it on your goddamn application. And somebody actually put up a app that costs $1 on the Apple Store. It's gotten taken down from the Apple Store, but the one in the Google Play Store is still there. The one in the Google Play Store is still there, folks. Where's that money going? Have you seen all these QAnon shirts? Have you seen all these Q shirts? Where is all that money going? You want to know where it's going, folks? It's going investigations. It's going to a think tank of leftists that are enjoying this, that are having duping delight in seeing people that are on the right just act as much of a lunatic as those on the left. And they're loving this. They love the fact that they've got a bunch of people believing that Donald Trump has some hand up his ass from some military intelligence high-ranking officer that's telling him what to do, what to say, how to say it, etc. And it demeans Trump itself. I mean, don't you fucking people that are supposed to be pro-Trump realize that? That it demeans Trump? That it kind of coincides with the narrative of the left? The left is always criticizing that Trump doesn't know what he's doing, that he's being told what to do, that he's just kind of playing a role like a reality star, etc. And that's not what this man is doing. This man is not Obama. That's what Obama was doing. This man, and it just completely negates the man's sacrifices. I mean, do you understand that Donald Trump sacrificed, and he's still sacrificing his life, his family, his fortune, his legacy, his posterity, so that he could save the country? And you mean to tell me he was all willing to do that because a schmuck piece of crap fucking military intelligence officer fucking told him, hey, Donald, your country needs you, and you know what? You're going to run for president. Hey, but I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Donald Trump. I'm playing golf. I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't want to do the president thing right now. Can you tell him? I don't want to tell him. No, you got to do it, Trump. You got to do it because I'm QAnon, see? I'm QAnon, and you've got to do it. You've got to do it or else. Or else what exactly? I don't know what you're talking about. What else are you talking about? Or else, Trump. You know what happens to black operatives, don't you? I mean, this is the narrative that they have people believing in their fucking heads, man. Like Trump had nothing to do with him, out of his own accord, out of his own will, running for president. Like his policies aren't his. Like the talks that he's having with Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin aren't him himself. I mean, I'm tired of this, man. I am sick and tired of it. And you know something, man? I mean, I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to take, folks, because in my personal opinion, I feel that we, on both sides of the political spectrum, are going off keister. We're going out of our minds. We're out of our minds at this point. I mean, come on. I mean, aside from QAnon undermining Trump, it also undermines a very close associate of mine named Julian Assange. Now, maybe those of you don't know as well as I do, but Julian Assange, not only is he risking his life, he's already risked his freedom to make the information that was given to the public that aided the complete destruction of the establishment. He did so out of unleashing facts and information, not a bunch of ambiguous language. I mean, Julian Assange was able to provide information to let loose this political awareness that is all of a sudden bestowed upon most people. And you know something? Julian Assange is about to be kicked out of the Ecuadorian embassy that he's been staying at in London. And what do you think's going to happen to old Julian Assange? I guarantee you he won't make it. I wouldn't be surprised if he was executed on his way out of the building. And why? Because aside from him unleashing the information about the DNC and Podesta, this guy has been doing this way before the 2016 elections. This guy has been doing this ever since the early 2000s. Julian Assange and his operations have literally influenced the elections of countries worldwide. And it wasn't until the 2016 elections in which he could have made a difference. And he didn't do it because he had any bias towards Trump, as if Trump was going to give him a pardon or if Trump was giving him money. There's nothing motivating Julian Assange, nothing, other than the right thing to do. And the right thing to do was to unleash the information that was exposed during the 2016 election. And it seems as if all of you people have forgotten about that. Instead, y'all are now latching on to a fake, fictitious character by the name of QAnon and negating all the things that not only Assange did, but let's take a look at Seth Rich. Y'all remember, folks, I announced that Seth Rich was the leaker of the DNC leaks way before anybody even thought about it. I was talking about Pizzagate, or I should say Comet Pizza, back in April of 2016. I was talking about Elefantis and all these people long before then. How did I know this? Because, folks, there were people, all right, that were a part of that 2016 election that divulged information and made it public, that put their lives on their line, their freedom on the line, that actually did something in a revolutionary capacity to change the world. Because that's what we did. That's what Julian Assange did. And you all did. Y'all that were out there looking at those data dumps from WikiLeaks, taking a look at those emails, finding all these patterns, making those correlations. Now what are you all doing?
QAnon, we're Q. QAnon, we're all Q, baby, yeah.
I mean, what is QAnon dropping? He's dropped nothing. He has been ambiguous in his goddamn language. Julian Assange wasn't ambiguous. He dropped the actual facts. And you people that are out here sucking the virtual cock of QAnon, you people need to understand that, you ungrateful fucks. All right? People out here actually fucking put their lives on the fucking line for the information that was released in 2016. The facts, not fucking linguistically ambiguous bullshit. The facts. People died for that information, you ungrateful assholes. Like I said, I knew that these sons of bitches, were the ones that killed Seth Rich because he was the leaker of the DNC leaks. And 3 weeks later, after I announced that Seth Rich was the leaker of the DNC leaks, Julian Assange confirmed it in that interview between him and that Dutch news agency. Now, call it a little personal, but when I look at QAnon and I see the bullshit that he is putting forth and watching all the people that are falling for it, I have to say that I feel disgusted inside. I feel disgusted inside because it makes me feel, and it makes, I'm sure, many people that had a lot to do with the information being unleashed on WikiLeaks, I'm sure they feel like a bunch of idiots about now. I'm sure they feel like a bunch of idiots because some moron LARPing on a fucking website that is based upon tomfoolery, pedophilia, and trolling is somehow manipulating actual adults on the right wing of the political spectrum. I never thought I'd ever see such a fucking thing in my life. I'd expect this from the left. I didn't expect this from the right. And you know who I really feel bad for? I feel bad for Julian Assange after all this, because no one even gives a shit that this guy's about to get kicked out of the goddamn Ecuadorian embassy, and this was the guy that gave us the information to perpetuate all over the fucking United States that aided Donald Trump to get elected. And yet, nobody gives a shit because why?
Oh, it's not sexy anymore. I like conspiracy. Conspiracy is sexy. I like conspiracy. I want a fucking sexy-ass conspiracy, bitch. I want to believe that I'm privy to, like, information that no one knows. Because I read QAnon. Yeah, that's what I do, yeah.
Don't you idiots understand that that's what these, like, conspiracy theorist personalities do all the time? You know, I'm talking about, like, reptilian idiot David Icke. You know, Alex Jones was doing that before the Trump election. Remember, he would just go out here and just talk all this conspiratorial nonsense because It's fun. It's spooky. It's, oh my God, I'm privy to information that nobody else is. Oh my God. I mean, I'm serious, folks. I mean, people that listen to this QAnon bullshit, they actually believe that they're exclusive to some fucking information that nobody else has. And it's conspiracy. I mean, they like it. And look, we have to fucking finally say, hey, look, that's enough. We have to base our conversations. We have to base our grievances. We have to base our assumptions on facts and information. Not based on a bunch of bullshit like we're seeing out here, man, especially with this QAnon crap. Now, I'm going to tell you QAnon followers once, and I'm not going to tell you again. Stop pretending that you're pro-Trump. Stop pretending that you're one of us. You people are nutcases, and you're giving fodder to the left. You have flipped the tables now. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, these goddamn QAnon idiots have flipped the tables. Now the right are the crazies. The right are the crazies all of a sudden. Before it was the leftist lunatics. You remember the goddamn triggering and the breakdowns that you saw once Donald Trump was elected? They were the crazies. The left were the liberal lunatics. But now that you had all those fucking QAnon shirts at that goddamn Florida fucking rally of Trump, you've got the goddamn media harping on this. And what are they saying? What are all the mainstream media outlets saying? The conspiracy of QAnon goes mainstream. Who is QAnon and the freak show conspiracy? Here we go again. And I told all of you that this was going to happen. I told all of you. I had one faggot in my goddamn chat room trying to make a fucking argument that, oh, well, you don't understand, whatchamacallit, it's good that QAnon's out here. Even if he is a LARPer, he's bringing in people into the Trump train, and that's a good thing, right? No, it's not! Because then the left can fucking point at these lunatics and say, look, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Sixpack of America, look at these lunatics. Do you want to vote in these people into power? These people think that Donald Trump is a Manchurian candidate for a goddamn military intelligence officer. Is this what you want? People who follow queer-anon? Is that what you want? I'm serious. I'm not joking. Good God. I'm just saying, folks, you people that are QAnon followers are no different than leftists, man. I cannot believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. We don't want you QAnon followers on the left. You're no different than liberal lunatics. Don't you understand that? And just because you morons are bringing other lunatics on the Trump train side, we don't want you. We're the side of rational, reasonable ideas. The truth! The fucking truth! And facts! That's what we're about. Not all this LARPing bunch of bullshit. And I'm telling you, our investigation, the Capitalist Army investigations, have shown us that the people behind this, the think tank behind QAnon, the think tank behind QAnon out here, is nothing but a bunch of leftists that are having duping delight watching all these idiots wearing QAnon crap that is probably maintaining this think tank's lifestyle. Haven't you ever heard of that? Haven't you ever thought about that? Where's the money going? I mean, at least when people contribute to this show, you know that it's going to this show, baby. You know that it's going to continue and sustain the continuity of the show. You know that I'm reinvesting in all kinds of shit. Where's the money going for QAnon? And you know what? All of you people on the right that are falling, I'm talking about you fucking e-celebs that are falling for this QAnon shit. You people are idiots. I have lost complete and total respect for these so-called e-right-wing celebs that are out here obliging this QAnon bullshit. like Ben Garrison. Can you believe the political cartoonist Ben Garrison is out here sucking the digital cock of goddamn QAnon, for Christ's sake? He made a QAnon shirt, for fuck's sake! I mean, this is how bad the liberal lunacy has infected the right, and it's got to come to an end, and we've got to fucking stop it! Because if we don't, we're going to allow the leftists to come back into power, you fucking idiots! We're going to allow the leftists to come back into power! Good God, man! I need some more fucking water, for Christ's sake. Good God, I wish I was still drinking! I wish I was still fucking drinking, man, because I can't believe this crap. It just fucking makes me fucking angry! That people are this fucking naive, that people are this fucking gullible! Yeah, fucking Ben Garrison over here, huh? Ben Garrison out here sucking the digital schlong head of goddamn QAnon. Hey, QAnon, I'm Ben Garrison, and look at me, I made a QAnon shirt. I like that you made reference to me because that makes me feel like I got big digital balls inside. That's what that makes me feel because I'm Ben Garrison. Jesus Christ, man. Give me some fucking water. I need some fucking H2O after all this crap. And that goes for everybody else. That goes for all of you right-wing e-celebs. If you're down with QAnon, fuck you! You're nothing more than a LARPing piece of crap. I'm not joking. If you're a right-wing e-celeb, and look, I don't care if you spread this all over the internets, I don't give a shit. Alright? I don't give a shit. If you are an e-right-wing celeb and you're down with QAnon, fuck you! We don't want you a part of the right wing, alright? You're doing nothing but giving fodder to the goddamn left, you piece of crap! And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Stop correlating yourselves with the fucking right. You're part of the left. God damn it, it fucking pisses me the fuck off. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I'm not even fucking joking around. I can't believe that there's not enough of you fucking people that are just as pissed as I am about this fucking shit. Piece of shit. I can't believe there's not enough fucking people like you that are just pissed off as much as I am about this shit. They're making us look like idiots, man. These fucking QAnon faggots are making us look like fucking idiots! The goddamn 2018 elections are right around the corner, and you people don't even give a fuck! That's why sometimes I just wonder. I just ask myself sometimes, why? Why? Why do I try? Jesus Christ! I mean, how come nobody out there is angry as I am about this fucking LARPing QAnon bullshit? This fucking QAnon bullshit! I mean, is everybody just gonna be okay with this crap? Is everybody just gonna be okay with this crap? Piece of shit. Got the shit everywhere now thanks to the fucking QAnon cocksuckers. Fucking QAnon cocksuckers, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm just fuck it. Fuck! I'm going to move on. All right, I don't want to talk about QAnon anymore. I'm sorry, man. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm fucking sick of fucking talking about these stupid idiots that are following some asshole that is a faggot, furry, fucking poet. And that goes for any one of you goddamn right-wing celebs, man. I'm not fucking kidding. You people that are fucking, hey, QAnon, I'm down with you, dude. You people are just as fucking guilty as the left. Jesus Christ, man. Let me move on to another subject matter, man. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking about this stupid idiot QAnon. But we doxed this faggot. He is a leftist homo furry. If you don't believe me, take a look at ghost.report. All right, type that in your browser right now and take a look at the first fucking post. Ghost.report. I'm gonna move on to another subject, all right? Let me calm down. Let's talk about a little bit of leftists in the judicial system, shall we? Y'all remember the Ninth Circuit of Appeals, don't you? Huh? Well, the Ninth Circuit of Appeals rules that the president cannot withhold funds from sanctuary cities. Can you believe that? Oh, here we go, folks. Here we go again. The infamous Ninth Circuit Court saying what the president can't do. The Ninth Circuit fucking Court. Anyway, folks, this underscores the Ninth Circuit Court ruling that the president cannot withhold funds from sanctuary cities underscores what the 2018 election is truly about, man. It's about immigrants, it's about criminals, and it's about the sexualization of children. Let's be honest, folks, all right? If you are Democrat, if you are on the left, then you are pro-immigrant, you are pro-criminal, and you are pro-sexualization of children. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, take a look at the defense of the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, and how they found him tweeting about baby rape and raping children and all this other nonsense. But no, it's okay. It's a joke. It's okay to joke about baby rape, right? I mean, that's what they're saying about the creator of Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon. This son of a bitch was seen on camera simulating baby rape on a doll. And he actually recorded this in some kind of comedic skit form, thinking that it was funny. And you see, this is only in the leftist liberal mindset, all right? All right, this is only in the liberal mindset that it's okay to joke about pedophilia. But if you try to joke about race, if you try to joke about sexuality, oh no! Oh, I gotta go into my safe space. You can't do that. Do you see the so-called rational thinking of these leftists? It's okay to joke about baby rape. It's not okay to joke around about race or sexual orientation or anything to that nature. I mean, this is what it's about, folks. I mean, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, we all know that's a pro-Obama court. They ruled that the president can withhold funds from sanctuary cities. Now, how the hell does that work? How the hell can the president not withhold funds from cities that are breaking federal law? Can somebody actually explain that? Obviously, this is going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to rule in favor of the president, but this just goes to show you, folks, how these leftists can legislate from the court bench. And this is a big problem. This is how the leftists have been able to infiltrate our government system. It's through the court systems. That's how they've been able to cripple the American family. You know? They've been able to cripple the American family by creating entitlements that encourage women to be single and have children as opposed to be married and have children. So, I'm just simply stating this, okay? That's all I'm simply stating. I mean, this is what we are voting for in 2018. And you as somebody on the right, you need to propagate this to everyone you know. You need to tell them, look, you're a Democrat, so you're okay with illegal immigrants, open borders? You're okay with that? You're okay with criminals just being let go because they're immigrants? You're okay with the sexualization of children? Because this is what it's all about, folks. I don't care what these leftists say. This is what it's all about. Okay? And that's it. That's all. And speaking of leftists, folks, let's talk a little bit about Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the two socialists that seem to be highlighted in the media as the new Democratic darlings, for Christ's sake. Well, old Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have been going out on America on some kind of a campaign trail, obviously to raise money from the people who don't even have enough money to give. But hey, who cares? Who's looking? They're ganking it fair and square, right? That's how they look at it. Well, anyway, in this tour touting socialism across America, they're also promoting something called Medicare for All. Medicare for All, folks. You know, Uncle Bernie, he said this in a speech here recently that was highlighted yesterday. Hey, I'm Uncle Bernie, and I want Medicare for all. I want it all to be paid. I want the 1% to pay for it, and that's the way it is. Now, it may cost America $32 trillion for the next 10 years, but that's okay, because I'm Uncle Bernie. I'll figure it out. And what I want you to do, you know what I want you to do? I want you to come on over here and take your underwears off. That's right. Hey, don't worry about the pants tent, all right? Don't worry about the pants tent, all right? And keep contributing. That's right. Don't just come on over here and sit on my apple. Come on over here, sit on my apple, and keep contributing. Oh, yeah, that's the way Uncle Bernie likes it. Come on. That's right. That's the way Uncle Bernie likes it. Hey, can you feel the boing? Hey, can you feel the boing? Oh, you love Uncle Bernie. It's Uncle Bernie. Come on. It's Uncle Bernie. Keep going. Keep contributing. Come on. Yeah, that's right. Keep contributing. Yeah, sit on that apple. Yeah, you feel the boing? Yeah, you feel that boing, don't you? Hey, oh yeah, I'm almost done. Keep going. Here we go. Hey, don't touch me! Don't touch me! I don't want you. Don't touch me! Don't touch me! All right. No! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! All right. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to clean yourself up and don't tell anybody I told you to take your underwears off and keep contributing. You hurt Uncle Bernie. You hurt me. I mean, that's what Uncle Bernie did to you all in 2016, and now that he's got some Puerto Rican slutbag by his side, he's doing it to you all in 2018 like a bunch of suckers. Now, for you all that don't know, Uncle Bernie, he's out here preaching that he wants Medicare for all that'll cost American taxpayers $32 trillion over the next 10 years. $32 trillion. Now, do you folks know that our current debt for our entire existence of our country is barely $21 trillion? And that's for spending on everything we've had to spend on as a government since our existence, since our nation's birth. And you've got socialist Uncle Bernie out here claiming that he wants Medicare for all, and it's going to cost the taxpayer $32 trillion over 10 goddamn years. Now, I want to be completely honest with you folks, all right? If we really want to take a dent out of health care, what we need to do is first and foremost figure out what we're going to do with the old and the sick that can't pay for their own health care. First and foremost. And those people aren't a huge majority of people. I mean, they're a small amount of people. We just got to figure out how we're going to fund them. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, many of them that are wanting health care, most of them comprise of mental health. Mental health. And if you want my personal opinion, I think that we need to bring back psychiatric wards so that we can group home these mental cases, because I don't think the current method of therapy of mental illness is working. And what is the current therapy of mental illness? Pussy pampering these mentally ill, spoiled brat morons, and then medicating them with all kinds of psychotropic drugs, to which we don't know the long-term effects of, and yet to see the long-term effects of. We need to bring back psychiatric wards to group these people together, and I guarantee you, after a little bit of time in the psychiatric ward, one of two things are going to happen to these people. They're going to miraculously cure themselves of their mental ailments, or they're going to feel right at home at the psych ward and kick back there and live the rest of their days there. That right there eliminates all this autism bucks, all this money that we're paying in disability for mental disorders, all this bullshit. First and foremost, eliminates a good chunk of that. Okay? Secondly, what we need to do is we need to emphasize physical education in public education. And what do I mean by that? Instead of worrying about if the fucking child can paint or draw or play a fucking instrument, maybe we should put a point of emphasis on whether this damn child can run, can jump, can swim. Physical education, because if you start physical education at a young age, then you are preventing any kind of health ailments in this child's near future. If you put a point of health and physical education in public education, not only does it encourage the child to be preventative in their health, but it also encourages the goddamn parents to be healthy. Because, the physical education, if we were to put a little bit more emphasis on it, we could tell these children to go home and do homework and force their parents to do some homework with them, like maybe walk around somewhere for 30 minutes, maybe play some kind of active game for 30 minutes. This is called preventative health care. And that's another thing we need to do. We need to be preventative. If a doctor can see what is going on and what is causing the ailments with people, then the doctor should provide preventative care. For instance, I didn't need a doctor to know that I had to stop drinking for a little bit, okay? I had a lot of, my insides weren't digesting very well. I had a lot of things saying, hey, Ghost, maybe you need to cut down drinking a little bit, and that's exactly what the doctor would have told me. And I haven't had a drop of alcohol in the past month, and I've never felt physically better. And you see, I didn't need to go to the doctor to do that, because that's what a doctor should be telling you. They should be telling you how to prevent onset long-term debilitating ailments. Okay? I'm serious. I'm not even kidding around. And hold on, somebody corrected me saying it was $3 trillion for the look, hey, Google up right now Bernie Sanders and fucking Medicare for all and see how much. It's a $32 trillion. The hell are you talking about? But anyway, once again, emphasize physical education in public education. Since, hey, these brats are going to public school anyway, why are we teaching them how to play the guitar? Why are we teaching them how to play a fucking stupid horn? Why are we trying to do all this, when it hasn't done anything for any of these poor fucking kids? It hasn't done anything for any of these poor fucking kids, man. But physical education at a young age. And look, I'm not trying to say focus only on physical education, but encourage it, man. Make it more than one class period. Make it 3 class periods. Young people should be going out there and exerting that energy, man. Should be putting some emphasis on their growth, on their health. They should be properly nourished as well. And that's another thing with these children. These children aren't properly nourished by their parents. And why is that? Because, folks, we have free breakfast and free lunch. And as a matter of fact, if they stay after school, a free after-school snack in public education. And believe it or not, parents are actually depending on free breakfast, lunch, and an after-school snack to feed their children. So it doesn't have to come out their pocket. I mean, I remember, folks, I'm not kidding around. Remember when the swine flu hit the United States for a little bit? It actually hit a small town here in Texas that ain't too far away from San Hambodio and Austin called Cibolo, Texas. Okay? And in Cibolo, Texas, they had a swine flu epidemic, and they closed down the school and made sure to go and scrub everything down and sanitize everything. And you know who was out there pissing and moaning about the fact that school had to be kind of called off for a week so that they could clean the school? Single whore mothers. Single whore mothers. Or it was H1N1, whatever it was, swine flu, whatever the fuck it was, H1N1, whatever it was, okay? But it was one of those ailments that they had to close down the Cibolo school. They had to clean everything up. And who was on the news bitching and moaning about the school being closed and it being scrubbed down and sanitized for any potential exposure to this ailment out here? Single mothers. Single mothers, and I quote, they were on the television, on the news with a microphone in their face saying, well, I don't know how long this school is going to be closed. I mean, I got to feed my kid. My kid depends on the breakfast and the lunch. Now I've got to come out of my pocket and feed my kid. I swear to God, that's what they said. A fucking dish rag whore single mother actually said that she's going to have to, quote, come out of her pocket because school had to be taken off so that they can sanitize the school from H1N1 or swine flu or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, this is a big contributing factor on why most children are getting all these weird ailments. They're not being properly nourished. They need vitamins. They need fruits. They need vegetables. Some parents allow their kids to eat whatever the fuck they want. And that's why these kids you're seeing a lot more kids with broken bones. You're seeing a lot more kids with weird-ass ailments. I mean, you have to nourish the child's body at a young age. If not, you're destined. You are providing a destined health situation for your child if you don't properly nourish your child's body. And this is what will prevent all the health problems that we're seeing here, folks. Because most of the health problems can be prevented. We don't have to believe that, oh, well, you know, there's going to be $32 trillion in the next 10 years if we were to give everybody health care and all this other nonsense. We just have to prevent it. Put an emphasis on physical education. Nobody likes to be physical anymore. I mean, take a look at all the mounds of fat asses that are walking around and waddling around America, for Christ's sake, man. It's obesity. I mean, we have to put an end to that. It's the obesity at young ages is what's causing the overwhelming amount of young sickness that we're witnessing in modern America. It's the complacency. It's just sitting there and getting your thumbs bruised on a video game or on a goddamn computer that's causing this. So, I mean, I'm just simply giving you a few examples on how to curb the costs of health care. Because to be honest with you folks, most people, if we could eliminate the old and the sick who can't take care of themselves out of the equation. And I'm not saying that they should be fucking eliminated like physically. What I mean is, if we as a government or as a people allocate or find allocations of funds or resources to be able to deal with these people in mass, then healthcare wouldn't be that expensive. It wouldn't be that expensive. I mean, I personally believe that we need to bring back the homes. So, you know, old people that just don't have the money to take care of themselves and their kids don't give a crap, they go into the home, you know, and they just wait for their last day. I mean, I hate to say this, I mean, you know who really worries about free health care? People with HIV/AIDS. And I want to be honest with you folks. You know as well as I that the gay community, for whatever reason, loves sex without any kind of protection. They like bug chasing, quote unquote. They like barebacking, quote unquote. And as a result, this is who the demographic is that wants free health care, because they can't afford the AIDS, drugs, and all the hospitalization and everything necessary to sustain a life with AIDS. So, I mean, simply put, this is really where the costs are coming from old people and people with AIDS. You know, because people with cancer, I mean, let's be honest with you, they either survive the cancer and, you know, God willing that they're in remission for 10 or 15 years, but for the most part it comes back and it's over. I mean, you know, it's these people with AIDS now. I mean, have you read about this? There's a guy I read who got AIDS in like 86 and he's still alive. He got AIDS in 1986 and he's still alive. I mean, is he paying for his AIDS drugs, or are we doing it? And if we're going to do it, then we should have authority on how it's dispensed and or what preconditions they're dispensed. I don't think that we should be championing gays or heterosexuals, for that matter, being sexually irresponsible and permissive, going out and barebacking every sexual liaison they come in contact with. I mean, I'm just simply stating, folks, I mean, it is not hard to prohibit yourself, even if you're a sexually active person. It's not hard to prohibit yourself from getting the AIDS. You just have to put a condom on it, and you got to make sure that you're not, you know, screwing somebody that's a goddamn heroin addict. So once again, folks, I think that I've curved a pretty good portion of health cost right off the bat. If we emphasize physical education in public schools, we relay that public education to the parents at home. We also emphasize preventative health care to curb future costs. So, you know, somebody who's having a heart problem, he's a little fat in the ass, you know that all he's got to do is curb his fat ass, stop eating so many fucking artery-clogging triple cheeseburgers, and, you know, stop doing the things that he's doing, prevent him from having a heart attack. I mean, it's as simple as that. But instead, our doctors, what do? They give us fucking some ridiculous medication so that it can ward off any of the side effects of us continuing to do the unhealthy habits that we do. And all we got to do is just stop doing the unhealthy habits. It's as simple as that. Preventative health care, man. And like I said, for the mental cases, we got to bring back psych wards. All right? We got to bring back psych wards. We should stop treating these goddamn mental cases with kid gloves. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We got to stop treating. Bring them back to a psych ward where it's no fun to be in a psychiatric ward, baby. And like I said, one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to completely miraculously be cured of their mental ailments, or they're going to be right at home with these sick freaks where they belong, in the psychiatric ward. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and take a sip of this H2O. Anyway, we are now well into the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire. All right? And let everybody know throughout the internets and throughout the world, let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And hold on, we're hold on just a second. Can everybody hear me, for Christ's sake? I'm telling you, wind blows sucks. Wind blows sucks, for Christ's sake. Can everybody hear me, for Christ's sake? Testes, testes, 1, 2, testes. Okay, I'm glad people can hear me because, I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's another update or what. It updated recently, and it's made the computer suck a cock with it, man. I mean, wind blows, man. Get it together! Get it to fucking together, man! Anyway, before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire, all right, baby? Go out there and let everybody you know across the internets and throughout the world, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, all right? And tell them to go to the website, and I love being independent now, ghost.report is the website, baby. Ghost.report is the website. And, by the way, if you have not done so, please follow me on Gab, folks. It's my only social media representation on the internet today. And you can follow me under the name Politics Ghost, all right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab, baby. And if you don't have a Gab account, if you don't have a free Gab account, then I don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, it's the last bastion of freedom of speech on the internet, for Christ's sake, man. And as you can tell by the damn Silicon Valley oligarchs, man, there ain't that many places to be... there's not that many places that have freedom of speech anymore on these internets, especially on the goddamn social medias, man. Not even kidding around. But anyway, I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Let's go ahead and give some shout-outs here. What's going on to Aesthetic, Andrew Smith in the house, Aquilian, Australian Capitalist, Birds of Prey, Black Star Tribe, Brodog, Chellis in the house, Hambone Capitalist, Hans Uberlander, we got Harvey Johnson, Herb, we've got Hoodie, we got Insane Energy, Man Bear Pig, Metaform, we've got Mile High, Mummy Yummy Lemons in the house, Norwegian, we've got Pepe the Frog, we've got Sparked in the house, Stagio, Tesla Cyberheart, The Professor, Eaglecock, we've got Capitalist America, and BN King. Thank you guys for being a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. And if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you've got to do is, like I've said a million times, go to my Gab, check out my Gab right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, and click the subscribe button for premium content. All right, that's as simple as that. Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I'll make sure to give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. I'm going to be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room later on this evening, probably around, give it about 10:20 or so, 10:30, depending on how long we take this broadcast to. But I'll definitely be in there, so come on down, baby. Come on down and be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. I was talking about how Uncle Bernie and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are touting Medicaid for all, which will cost the U.S. taxpayers $32 trillion over 10 years. And I described some of the things that we could do to curb health care costs, etc. And you know something, folks? Of all people, Barack Obama came out today and released his, quote, endorsement list. I mean, what a cocky asshole. I'm going to just go ahead and release my endorsement list. Read it, bitch. I'm Obama. Anyway, he released his endorsement list, and guess who wasn't on the list? Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders. Oh, God. I mean, of course Ocasio-Cortez wasn't on there. Of course, because she's a complete imbecile. I mean, did you see her on Trevor Noah? That was a complete cringe session, for fuck's sake. And did you know that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez actually had her notes? She had fucking notes there at the Trevor Noah goddamn interview, and she still couldn't fucking articulate what the fuck she believed in. She had notes in front of her. You could even see her attempting to read, the son of a bitch. And believe it or not, folks, this stupid dunce, this girl from the Bronx, bitch, I'm a girl from the Bronx, bitch. Did you know that this broad actually has a master's, or I don't know if she has a master's, but I know she has a degree, in economics. She has a degree in economics, for fuck's sake. And by the way, how could anybody have a degree in economics and be a socialist at this point? Especially all the empirical evidence showing that socialism does not work. It does not work. And speaking of socialists that do not work, have y'all heard about Venezuela? Huh? Have y'all heard about Venezuela? Well, the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, folks, actually has come out publicly and admitted that socialism has failed. Can you believe that? Huh? I wonder what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Uncle Bernie Sanders have to say about that shit. Huh? That's right. The Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, has come out and said that socialism has failed. President Nicolas Maduro told the Congress, comprised of the Socialist United Party, or PSUV, he told and quoted the following, and this is right out of the mouth of Nicolas Maduro. He said, the production models we've tried so far have failed. And the responsibility, which I've never heard a communist or a socialist say the word responsibility, so let me repeat that one more again. The production models we've tried so far have failed. And the responsibility is now ours, mine, and yours. Oh! I mean, you've got a president of a socialist country now coming out publicly and saying that socialism doesn't work. I mean, this should be put in front of the face of every stupid American socialist right now today. And say, oh yeah, you want socialism? Here, you got socialism in Venezuela. You've got a socialist leader saying socialism is a failure. Now, what do you got to say about that there, Mr. Democratic Socialist American, or Mrs. Democratic Socialist American? What do you got to say about that? And you know what they're going to say to you. You know what these socialists in America are going to say.
Oh, well, that wasn't real socialism, okay? That wasn't real communism, okay? They didn't do it right.
Ah, Jesus Christ. And you know that's what they're going to say. You know that's what they're going to say, but you know that's bullshit. You as a capitalist, you know that's bullshit, because I'm telling you right now, socialism or communism are the same. And the reason they're the same, folks, it's because it's the collective centralization of power. It's the dictatorship of the proletariat. Under every communist and socialist model, folks, you don't have any individual choice, any individual decision making. You are told what to do at a micromanaged level. That's what communism and socialism is. And if you don't do the job that the communist or socialist government tells you to do, then you're thrown in a re-education camp, or you're executed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what happens in socialist and communist models. If you refuse the job that the government has given you, then you are either thrown in a re-education camp or executed. But in capitalism, if you refuse an employer's wage, the employer isn't going to throw you in a re-education camp. The employer isn't going to execute you. No, you can walk away and say, I'm not accepting those wages, and I'm going somewhere else. And you're not going to get executed. You're not going to be thrown in jail. Nothing. And that's why I'm telling you, any goddamn communist or socialist that attempts to say that capitalism is exploitation to some extent, because that's their big fucking argument, that capitalism is exploitation. It is a compromise. It is an agreed negotiation. That's what capitalism is. Somebody who has labor to sell, and they want to sell it to an employer. It is an agreement. It is an agreement between the laborer and the employer. And once there's an agreement, that's when wages are dispensed. That's when labor ensues. Unlike the communist and socialist models, if you don't do the job the communist and socialist government tells you to do, then you're either in a re-education camp or you're dead. But back to Venezuela. Venezuela, once again, the president, Nicolas Maduro, has finally admitted socialism is a failure. And you know, there's no reason why Venezuela should be a failure right now. There should be no reason. I mean, you understand that Venezuela has the third largest oil deposit in the world today. The third largest oil deposit in the world. And why are they starving? Why don't they have resources for their people? Why can't they feed their own people? Because, folks, the central planners of the communist socialist government of Venezuela planned future allocations of resources based upon an oil price of over $100 a barrel of oil. And, folks, we haven't seen $100 a barrel of oil in a long, long time, all right? And you see, that's what these central planners in the government base their calculations of the future on. They base their calculations of allocating resources on $100 barrel oil sales. And that's why, folks, Venezuela has gone to what it is today. It's a failure. All right? I mean, they should have never have gone away from the free market system. But you see, you had Hugo Chavez. Remember Hugo Chavez, right? Hugo Chavez with his red beret and his double chin and talking all kinds of militancy and I am Hugo Chavez, no está los salpingos, and all that shit. And for whatever reason, the Venezuelans fell victim to it. You know, because lest we forget, folks, Hugo Chavez was elected. Venezuela elected this communism on themselves. They weren't usurped. I mean, there wasn't some armed revolution that took over Venezuela. No, the Venezuelan people allowed this shit to be a part of their government. They voted Hugo Chavez in. And that was back in, 99, 2000 is when they voted him in? And ever since they voted in communism and socialism, folks, it's been a constant rate of degradation to the point in which they're in the position they're in now. I mean, folks, they are such in bad shape that, I mean, they have no food left over in Venezuela. I mean, they're going to neighboring countries trying to scour for food. They've already eaten all the dogs and cats. They've already eaten all the native wild animals that are in the jungles of Venezuela. Folks, it is a dire situation, and it's all because of mismanagement of the centralization of power. And you see, you being a subject of a system of that capacity, like let's say you're a citizen of Venezuela, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, look at what the people have been trying to protest against the situations that have been going on in their country for the past 4 years, and nothing has gotten done. Nothing. I mean, hell, they've been protesting longer than that. They were protesting when Hugo Chavez was in power. I mean, they've been protesting and protesting and protesting, and yet nothing has been done. You want to know why? Because Hugo Chavez, when he when he was the president, when Hugo Chavez, communist, was elected president, he had what the left likes to call a gun confiscation. He confiscated all the guns, folks. Hugo Chavez confiscated all the guns of Venezuela to, quote, make a safe society. Man, folks, you can't go right now in Venezuela after dark without threatening your own life. It is a complete and utter jungle in Venezuela, literally. And there's nothing the people can do to overthrow the government. They have no goddamn weapons. They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. So even though they're starving, even though they know the government's corrupt, even though they know they're in a precarious situation and they're desperate, they don't have any way to fight back the government. All they can do is protest, and what is the government doing to those protests? They're shooting them. They're mowing them down. This is why, and I hate to bring up the Second Amendment in this conversation, but this is why the Second Amendment is so goddamn important, and we can't allow anybody to touch that amendment. We cannot allow anybody to touch the Second Amendment, because if we don't have the ability to fight back tyranny, we're going to end up just like the Venezuelans. And you know something? The Venezuelans are lucky that Nicolas Maduro found some level of consciousness and is now admitting socialism's failures. And it seems like he actually wants to do something to make the goddamn situation right in Venezuela again. And the reason I'm saying this, folks, is because he recently, I'm talking Nicolas Maduro, deposed his vice president, Tarek El-Issami. He has deposed his vice president, accusing his vice president being a part of drug trafficking. And let's be honest, if you know about Venezuelan politics, the PSUV, I mean, they deal with drug traffickers. Most of them are involved in drug trafficking. I mean, let's be honest. And the reason I think that Nicolas Maduro deposed his vice president was to show an olive branch to Donald Trump. Was to show an olive branch to Donald Trump. And I personally believe that right now, if you want my personal opinion, that there are negotiations going on between the Nicolas Maduro government and the Trump administration, because what these guys need to do, is they need, and I'm talking about the Venezuelans, they need to bring back private investment into Venezuela. Because what made Venezuela go to crap was the fact that when Nicolas Maduro, or excuse me, I should say Hugo Chavez was elected in late 99, 2000, he nationalized all private companies. He nationalized all private enterprise, meaning it put it under the government control. And you see, look at what's happened since the government took control of the means of production. Look at Venezuela now. So I personally believe that Nicolas Maduro deposing his vice president, Tarek El-Issami, I personally believe that that's an olive branch to Trump, and that there is actual negotiations going on between Venezuela and the United States. And what Maduro needs to do is allow capitalists to go in there, reinvest in the economy, and make this son of a bitch rich again. And never, ever go back to socialism and communism. And I guarantee you, these people in Venezuela, they'll never vote for communism or socialism again after this. Because that's what they did, folks. They were a merging economy. They were the richest country in South America until they elected goddamn Hugo Chavez. And why did they elect Hugo Chavez? Because of the orale, free healthcare, free this, free food, free that, we'll make a self-society, we'll confiscate the guns. All the bullshit that you're hearing from these people in the left, all the bullshit that you're hearing from these people claiming socialism in America, that's what Hugo Chavez was advocating, and that's why they elected him. They elected him on this political romantic rhetoric. And that's why those of us in America can't fall for that shit. We cannot fall for that shit. So once again, Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, has admitted that socialism is a failure. Somebody asked Bernie Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez about that. And when they go, well, it wasn't real communism or it wasn't real socialism, well, then tell them to explain what the fuck real socialism and communism is. Anyway, let me move on to another subject matter. I told you we got a lot of shit to talk about, man. I'm not even joking around. All right, now, I'm going to give you all a heads up here. The U.S. and Mexico are close to a NAFTA deal that will be announced here in the next few days. Believe it or not, baby. And look, this is good news. Because what have I always said? That Mexico could use some new economic blood, some new economic thinking that understands that Mexico could compete with China as being the manufacturer of the world. I mean, you have to understand that whatever the labor costs are in Mexico to manufacture goods, it is offset by the transportation of those goods into America. Because from Mexico, they just got to go through a border. From China, they got to go through a freighter across seas to get over here to America. And that's why I'm saying I'm glad that AMLO, who is the recent president-elect, even though he may be a little bit left-leaning, he obviously understands his position and how he could go down as a very, very good and memorous leader if he plays his cards right and brings economic opportunity to Mexico. Now, the reason that we are going to see a NAFTA deal in the coming days is because there's been some hardcore negotiations by both sides to culminate this deal. And not to mention, folks, like I said, that AMLO, which the media prior to him being elected were afraid that he was a leftist and he was going to nationalize private enterprise in Mexico, according to Mexico's richest person and probably one of the richest people in the world, Carlos Slim, richest man in Mexico, he sees no threat to the Mexican business from AMLO. And he also says that AMLO will seek investment in the country from outside capitalists. So everything is a go when it comes to Mexican investment, man. And like I said, we're going to see a deal, and a whole new NAFTA deal between Mexico and the United States. I mean, and I can't wait, because this is going to put it right in the face of these fucking Chinese, man. It's going to stuff it right in their fucking face. And by the way, did you know that the United States, we're going to increase these tariffs on China since they want to continue to play hardball with the United States? We are going to up the tariffs from 10% to 25% on over $200 billion worth of Chinese goods that come into this country, huh? How do you like that, China? And what, you think you're going to hurt us? You think you're going to do something? We're going to replace you as the manufacturing base of the world, and we're going to put it right in Mexico. How do you like that? Huh? You Chinese want to play tough? Huh? You want to pretend that you got big egg rolls? Huh? You want to pretend that you got big egg rolls? Well, stuff them straight up your ass. We're not, and I repeat, we are not going to continue with these imbalanced trade deals any longer. $600 billion in a trade deficit on an annual basis we have with China. 600 billion United States dollars goes out of the country and into China on a imbalanced U.S. trade deal, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. We cannot allow this to continue. And thank God we have a president that understands this. Thank God. I mean, folks, before Trump, no one was talking about renegotiating trade deals except for yours truly. And if you don't believe me, go back to the old archives at blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Go back to those old archives. I was saying that we needed to renegotiate these trade deals back in 2009, 2010. And thank God we have a president that did such a thing. Now, with that being said, even though the U.S. and Mexico are going to announce a new NAFTA deal here in the next couple of days, Canada is left out in the cold on this new NAFTA deal, boy. That's right, boy. Canada is completely left out of this NAFTA deal. So, hey, Canada, you know, y'all are a pimple on the ass of America. Y'all elected that cuck Trudeau, who sold all of Canada's gold reserves to fund his stupid little immigration policy that he's implemented on you Canucks. How do you like that? How do you like that he spent, and I'm talking about Justin Trudeau, he spent all your gold reserves on bringing in a bunch of wild Jehudis into your country? How do you like that? How do you like a little bit of that? I mean, that's funny, man. U.S. and Mexico, they're close to a new NAFTA deal. It's going to be announced within days. You heard it here first, folks. It's going to be announced within days, a new NAFTA deal between United States and Mexico. And like I said, Canada is left out in the cold on this one. Woo! And look, I mean, even though I'm making fun of Canada, even though I'm saying Canada is a pimple on the ass of America and all this stuff, there is still a little bit of right-wing, just a little bit of right-wing in the politic of Canada. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about Doug Ford. Rob Ford's brother. Doug Ford, he was elected as the new, what is he? You were the new head of Ontario, the state of Ontario, some shit like that. Anyway, the new Conservative government in Ontario, even though, you know, you've got Justin Cuckhead Trudeau as the Prime Minister of Canada, Ontario's new Conservative government is planning on ending this ridiculous basic income experiment. Y'all remember this? Yeah, it was Canada that initiated this basic income bullshit last year, in which Ontario was going to dispense funds to people as a basic income just because they're citizens of Ontario. I mean, this isn't even goddamn welfare. It's just like, hey, we're just going to give out money here. We're just going to give out this money. Here we go. Here it is. Here's the money. Here's the goddamn money. Jesus Christ. Here's the goddamn money. Anyway, Doug Ford, the leader of the conservative movement out there in, or the conservative government, I should say, in Ontario, he's put an end to this pilot program that was launched last year. And the reason he's saying that he is putting an end to this pilot program of basic income is because it's unsustainable. And obviously, it's unsustainable. I mean, come on, man. Basic income? I mean, what, we're just giving people money for just merely existing? I mean, basic income experiment? I'm glad Doug Ford has put an end to this. And by the way, since the conservative government in Ontario put an end to this, we've actually got United States cities wanting to implement this pilot program in their city. Basic income. Giving people in their city just money just because they're citizens of the city. I mean, that sounds great in theory, folks, but you have to understand, doesn't that technically degrade the integrity of the money if you're just giving it all away for free? I'm just saying, folks, it's going to drive the cost of things up by default. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, don't y'all remember Barack Obama, too? And, man, during Barack Obama's second tenure, okay, I remember meat prices, man. A fucking hamburger beef was like $4, $5 a pound during Barack Obama's tenure. When nobody had jobs, nobody was making money. Now, why in the hell was hamburger meat so expensive back then? Because there were so many fucking people on food stamps that they were artificially driving up the fucking prices. Do you get it? That's why in today's meat market, I'm finding goddamn pounds of meat. I'm talking about ground beef at the same supermarket, the same grocery store, H-E-B. I'm seeing it during Trump's administration as low as $1.99 a pound. Same fucking beef, different president, $1.99 a pound during the goddamn Trump's administration, $4.99 a pound during Obama's second term, for Christ's sake. And I'm telling you, the reason that meat was so high is because of all the assholes that were on food stamps. Where were they going? They were going right to the fucking meat aisle, right to the meat market, loading up their goddamn baskets with beef, with meat. And what do they care about? They're not paying for it anyway. It's the taxpayer. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, we gotta come to grips with the fact that in America, you don't get a living. You're not given a living, you earn a living. You earn a living, you ungrateful pricks. Jesus Christ. I can't believe some of you people. Just because you think that you're breathing and you're born, you believe that you're entitled. Just because you were shitted out of some bitch's uterus pipe and you're breathing and you're alive, you believe that you should be housed, you should be clothed, you should be fed. Out of entitlement, out of mere entitlement, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on! I mean, no other living organism on this planet thinks this way. No other living organism on this planet thinks this way, that, oh, look, I'm alive, I'm breathing. I expect everybody to feed me, clothe me, house me, because I'm entitled to it, because what? I'm alive. Who gives a fucking flying fuck if you're alive? Big deal. All right, there's 7.4 billion people on the fucking planet, for Christ's sake. All right? 7.4 billion people on the planet. And guess what? The good majority of you Nimrods are doing nothing more than turning perfectly good food into shit. That's your only contribution in life, is turning perfectly good food into shit. And you know the ironic part of it all is that shit that you people take has more of a contribution than most of you. Because at least shit fertilizes the earth. You know, it helps vegetate new life, for Christ's sake. I'm just saying, folks. I'm just simply stating the obvious. I'm simply stating facts here. No other goddamn living organism on this planet thinks this way. And what an egotistical way to think, too, huh? Oh, I'm alive, and I'm breathing, so everyone else has to feed me, clothe me, house me, okay? Give me free health care because, oh, I'm alive, so you have to do it. Jesus Christ, what a joke, man. I mean, does anyone else not think this is a fucking joke? This is a joke! But no, they want basic income. They want basic universal income now, right? They want basic universal income just because. Fuck you. Fuck you, all right? Anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the last subject matter of today, and I want to talk about Iran. That's right, folks. I want to talk a little bit about Iran out here because, let's be honest, folks. Iran is looking like it's on its last legs, if you want my personal opinion. I mean, every single day you hear about another uprising and another uprising and another uprising. Why? Because the people are suffering. They're suffering from the economic damage that the sanctions are having on Iran. And moreover, I'd like to ask, where did all the money go that Barack Obama paid the Iranian government? I mean, that's $265 billion we paid the Iranian government for this goddamn Iranian nuke deal. Where the hell did all that money go? I mean, you have your whole population in Iran raising up because they don't have enough water, they don't have enough electricity, they're having a very precarious time finding things to eat. I mean, it is a screwed up economic situation in Iran. And I'm just simply stating, I mean, what is their remedy? Where did the money go from the Iranian nuke deal? How come some of that money isn't allocated to help some of these people so you can sustain your fucking power? Anyway, the reason that I'm bringing up Iran, folks, is because the Iranian lawmakers, or the members of parliament, have given the Iranian president 1 month to appear before Parliament to answer questions on his government's handlings of the country's economic troubles. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but that's a little bit unprecedented. You know, that the Parliament is trying to call the president for a grilling session about his handling about the country's economic troubles. That just goes to show you folks that, Iran is in a very precarious situation. And look, this is right after the president had a joint press conference with the head of state of Italy, and he came out, and I'm talking to President Trump, he came out and said, look, he's willing to meet with Iran, no preconditions, let's go ahead and meet. And of course, the response from Iran was, no, we don't want to meet. They rejected the meeting from POTUS, and instead they said they're not meeting with the president unless he starts obliging the Iranian nuke deal again. Oh, here we go. What is it about this Iranian nuke deal, man? What is it about this Iranian nuke deal? That is the precondition by Iran to have a sit-down with Trump. Can you believe this? That is the precondition. The precondition is that if they honor the nuke deal, that they will sit down and have a talk with Trump. Can somebody explain what the hell this nuke deal is really about? I've always suggested that it was a payoff because, it doesn't make sense that we capitulated so much goddamn money in the billions so that Iran could stop its nuclear endeavors. Lest we forget, folks, that Pakistan is a nuclear power. And yet we seem to forget that miraculously. And if you want my opinion, I think that Pakistan is more backwards, both mentally and Islamically, if that's a word, than Iran at this point. Do you understand that I think, 60% or something of the population of Pakistan are like mentally retarded because they all inbreed with each other out there? I'm not joking. There's a massive amount of inbreeding out there in Pakistan. And yet these guys are nuclear powers? Remember, Pakistan is the same country that brought us the Taliban. The guys that took over Afghanistan? Yeah, the Taliban, they were Islamic students at the madrasas in Pakistan, and they just hopped over the border and decided to cause jihad in Afghanistan and took over the country. And when the Taliban took over the country, they tried to implement some kind of 12th century version of Islam where there's no electricity, no type of modernity, no nothing. Nothing. So I'm just simply stating, man, if we're so concerned about Iran not becoming a nuclear power, how come we didn't have this type of urgency, I guess for lack of a better term, how come we didn't have this kind of urgency when Pakistan became a nuclear power? And aside from Pakistan becoming a nuclear power, their nuclear scientist, A.Q. Khan, I'm not kidding, that's his name, A.Q. Khan. Hey, maybe A.Q. Khan is QAnon. No, anyway, no, I'm just joking. Anyway, Pakistan's nuclear scientist, A.Q. Khan, got busted by Interpol trying to sell nuclear plans or the nuclear diagram on how to create a nuclear weapon to Al-Qaeda. So I'm just simply stating, for Christ's sake, and somebody's asking in the chat room, are the Taliban and Al-Qaeda the same thing? No, they are not. As a matter of fact, Al-Qaeda has transitioned into ISIS, the Islamic State. That's why you don't hear about Al-Qaeda anymore. They have merged into the Islamic State. And I don't know if you've heard here recently, but the Islamic State has somehow transplanted itself into Afghanistan, and they are getting their asses handed to them by the Taliban to the point in which ISIS are voluntarily surrendering to the Afghanistan government because they're getting their asses handed to them by the Taliban. And look, I want to be honest with you, these Taliban fighters, these guys can live in caves for years fighting the enemy. And, they're warlords. That's what they've been doing. Even Alexander the Great could tell you that. Anyway, the point is that, getting back to Iran, that Iran does not want to talk to the president unless the president obliges the Iranian nuke deal. And my question is, why? Why? I mean, I'd like somebody to answer that question for me, all right? All right, I'll tell you what. Let's have some call-in sessions, all right? Now, look, I'm going to open up the 800 number, 1-800-685-7914, and it's a 99-cent per minute call, all right? 99 cents per minute, all right? And it's only exclusive to the USA and Canada. Anybody here for the next 10 minutes that want to discuss any of the subject matters, come on down. Give me a call right now, 1-800-685-7914. All right, and it's 99 cents a minute. And if you've got something that you have to say to me, if you have something opposed to what I have said here for the past 3 hours, if you have something that you want to say, if you've got a certain perspective, well, then come on down. All right, come on down. I implore you to give me a call, all right? Once again, 99 cents a minute, 1-800-685-7914, only United States and Canada, unfortunately. Let me go ahead and take a swig of this water. Let me tell you, I have a good appreciation for water now, like nice high-quality H2O. But anyway, I've got 10 minutes left in the broadcast, and I want to challenge anybody out there who disagrees with any of the shit I said. How about some of you QAnon faggots? How about some of you QAnon followers? Come on down, all right? If you're in the United States and Canada, 1-800-685-7914, 99 cents a minute, all right? I mean, it's as simple as that, for Christ's sake. I'm opening up my phone line, boy. Anyway, as we are looking for it, people don't get it. It's 1-800-685-7914. That's the number. They're like, what? What is it? What? 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 I hope that y'all get it now, all right? So I challenge you, especially you QAnon bastards, all right? If you think you've got the balls to somewhat articulate an argument to me that QAnon is, I don't know, real or something, or that he's legit, I mean, make the argument. Come on down, make the goddamn argument, boy. I mean, I've told you why that even for the sake of argument, let's say we didn't dox QAnon. Let's just say he says who you think he is. He's military intelligence who, quote, tapped Donald Trump to save the country from a coup d'etat. Doesn't that undermine Donald Trump himself, folks? Doesn't that undermine Trump and everything that he's sacrificed, everything that he's done thus far? Honestly. Doesn't it? I mean, I personally believe that Donald Trump is more than competent to make these decisions on his own. As a matter of fact, I mean, he's single-handedly willed this economy back to the brink. I mean, at this point, folks, we are in the midst of better than the 80s type economic productivity. And I'm telling you right now, for those of y'all that lived through the 80s and y'all thought that was a great time in American history, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. But the only thing that can curb that is if these leftists somehow come into power, 2018 midterm election, and they skew the policy making from Make America Great Again to, guess what? Impeachment, higher taxes, etc. All right, let's see who we got here. All right, hello?
You are now connected. Say hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Coach? Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said on the show today. Yeah, fuck niggas,
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I didn't say that. And secondly, can you speak up a little bit? We can't hear you.
No, I just fucking hate niggas, And I think, you have a lot of valid points here.
I'm not saying anything racist, sir. Why are you even suggesting that I'm saying something racist?
Sorry. I might have misunderstood you.
Well, what did you think I said? Do you think I'm saying racist horse shit or something? What the fuck?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? What do you mean? That's what I mean.
Anyway, I gotta go get some pizza. So yeah,
you gotta go get some pizza.
Fuck niggas,
Ah, oh, Jesus Christ! I mean, you racist! Get this racist bastard out of here, for Christ's sake! And not to mention, if you're going to call me, don't be acting like a fucking troll. All right? Don't be doing that shit. And if you're going to be calling, speak the fuck up so we can hear you, for Christ's sake, man. Talk like you got a pair of cock and balls, for Christ's sake, man. I didn't open up the goddamn phone lines for you assholes to troll me like a bunch of jerk dicks, all right? All right, I'm serious. I'm challenging anybody that wants to call me 99 cents a minute. If you think that you can out-debate me, if you think that you have some kind of perspective that can somehow outdo what I have been discussing for the past 3 hours, then bring it the fuck on, baby. You understand that? Don't call me. Don't call me and say any kind of racial garbage. Don't call me and troll me, you fucking pieces of garbage. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I open up the phone lines, and this is what I get, man. All right? I open up the phone lines, and this is the kind of garbage I get, man. Look, this is serious business. All right? We're getting attacked. I'm talking about us on the right. We're getting attacked from all different directions, even from within. Even from within with these QAnon pricks. We have to fucking take this shit seriously, man. We have to take politics seriously. Do you understand me? Good God, man. If we lose these 2018 elections, we're in some serious trouble. And there's nobody to blame but all these so-called e-celebs out here that are more worried about putting themselves with more attention as opposed to actually dedicating themselves to the cause. And what was the cause? The same cause that we were all fighting for in 2016. Y'all remember that cause? We made the impossible possible at that particular time. What the fuck? What happened? What happened since then, for Christ's sake? I'm telling you, it's a damn shame. It's a goddamn shame what has happened since 2016, and I'm very concerned about the 2018 midterm elections. I'm really concerned about the 2018 elections. And that's why I'm telling each and every one of you that are serious about politics, I mean, it's time to start getting really serious, because we're getting attacked from everywhere, from all directions. All goddamn directions! All goddamn directions! There's no time for games anymore. This is serious fucking business. I mean, good God! Do you understand how serious this is? We got QAnon LARPers that are trying to make us look like the crazies, that are trying to make us look like the lunatics. I mean, don't you understand? This whole QAnon crap has flipped the tables on us, and now the right looks like the one that are the conspiracy theorist crazies. The right are the ones that look like the liberal lunatics. Do you understand that? Wake the fuck up! Wake up! Anyway, folks, I'm about ready to get the hell out of here, for Christ's sake, man. All right? This is... Hold on. We got somebody else calling. Hopefully it's not some LARPing piece of crap. Let's do this. Let's see what's going on.
The credit card has been declined.
Here we go with these credit cards being declined, for Christ's sake. Anyway, whoever's number that is that was being declined, I'm putting your number up on my damn... fucking ghost.report site. I'm not even joking. I'm fucking tired of you people. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here, okay? I'll be back on Baller Friday, all right? Baller Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? And that'll be episode number 600, baby. Episode number 6 goddamn 100. And I'm going to try to do something a little bit cool. I'm going to try to do something for the occasion. I'm going to try to do something for this Baller Friday. So I hope everybody appreciates it. And I want to be honest with you, okay? I want to be completely honest with you that I hope that there are 600 more True Capitalist Radio episodes. And I hope that we continue on. And if you're listening to this broadcast, you are a part of the underground. You are a part of the internet underground, folks. I'm not even joking around. We've taken part in a lot of things as it pertains to political history on the internet. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to have you guys be a part of it. And you ain't seen nothing yet. And we are not going to go quietly in that good night and allow these fucking leftists to take over and to be elected in 2018. We are not going to do it. And I'm telling you, folks, we're going to try to do something this Friday. This Baller Friday, episode 600. And if you got any suggestions, gab at me, all right? If you got any suggestions, gab at me. If you're in the True Capitalist Radio chat room or the Inner Circle, let me know something, all right? We're going to make it a little special. 600 episodes this Friday. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, you have just finished listening to episode number 599 on August 1st, 2018, the dog days of summer. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to this broadcast. Whether you like me, whether you hate me, I really appreciate you listening. And I strongly ask you, I implore you to please spread this show link around like wildfire. Let everybody know that we're on live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Once again, ghost.report is the website. Ghost.report is the website. And might I say also, folks, if you love the show and you haven't bought any merch, or if you haven't gone to ghost.market and checked out the apparel on there, I would strongly just ask you to please take a look at the cryptocurrency wishing well and throw a couple of cryptos in there of whatever. All right? This will help support the show. All right? This will help support the continuity of the show. And you know something else, folks? It'll also enhance the show's frequency. Because I've been saying I want to go every single day, like we used to. Remember that? 5 days a week. Monday through Friday, True Capitalist Radio. And we're going to try to do it, man. We're going to try. We're almost there. Let's see if we can make it happen. Let's see if we can make it happen sooner than we think, man. Anyway, once again, take a look at the cryptocurrency wishing well on ghost.report. And if you can contribute anything, go ahead and do so. And your wildest dreams will come true. I guarantee it, all right? Anyway, folks, thank you very much. I will be here Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, episode 600, Baller Friday. You better be here, folks. Anyway, I'm out of here. Long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to communism. I'm out of here. You better be here 6:30 p.m. Baller Friday. This Baller Friday, it's the 600th episode. It's going to be a night to remember.